It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go. Ow, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News. Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. Let's go. Oh, let's start this show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
It's been so long since I did a news show, baby. It's not doing everything in here.
King Roman News, King Roman News. King Roman News, King Roman News. King Roman News,
Okay.
King Roman News. King Roman.
King Roman News, 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 King Roman News. Let's go. Ow, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give
What he
you that
gonna
news
do?
just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time,
Good
baby.
morning.
He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you.
What?
King Roman News,
What?
coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News. Let's go. Let's start this show. Let's go.
Good morning and welcome, welcome to an edition of Local News Hot Topics. It's been a long ass time since I did this, and it's crazy because I wanted to do like hot topics in local news 7 days before the elections. Here we are one day before. I said I'm definitely getting my ass up. So we're going to talk about a lot of different things, a couple of local news stories I want to talk about today and get into crazy shit that's been going on in America, in the United States that we haven't really touched on. So I want to do that. I want to say good morning to everyone. Good morning to you all. Good morning. I've been enjoying my weeks off. I've been enjoying my 2 weeks off. And let me know if my audio is good, if it's choppy, if it's a little off. I ordered some new cords and stuff, so I wanted to see if the replacement helped it out a little bit. If not, let me know because I go right back to those cords. And good morning to y'all. I want to say happy election eve. And by the end of this show, I do want you to just feel empowered to vote. I don't give a fuck who you vote for. I really do. But I mean, honestly, I don't care. Thank you, boo. Thank you. Thank you. I don't care, but I want you to go out and vote. Hopefully by today's presentation, you'll really, really see why it's so important. I want to also say on November 11th of 2023, I created a little group chat called Crew, the Army base. That was on November 11th of 2023. I publicized it on November 15th of 2023, and we created the damn Crew family, the group. So I want to shout out to y'all. Our anniversary, November 15th, is fast approaching. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what y'all want to do, but it's coming up. I'm so fucking proud to be a year in. And it's cool. We haven't really, we've done some things, but we ain't really like fucked some shit up. So I'm excited about that. I am hosting an election watch party tomorrow on this channel at 8 p.m. So come through. I'm gonna have it streaming. Hopefully, I have some other co-hosts so they can come through as well and join the panel. We'll talk about it, what we think is gonna happen, give some updates and stuff like that. So that's tomorrow at 8 p.m. on this channel, King Roman News. Okay, and everything over here will be hot topics and news related. All of the fuck shit will be on go. So I do understand, and that leads me into my next point. I thoroughly understand that I'm rebuilding and we're going to have to get back in the paint, and I'm cool with that. I think I got some time now to actually enjoy doing this. So y'all roll with me, and I love the fact that the Crew family, y'all see where I'm at. Y'all over here. So thank y'all so much. Now, before I begin, this was something I just saw. Quincy Jones did pass. Rest in peace to Quincy Jones. I didn't read the story too much. I don't know really what happened, but rest in peace to Quincy Jones. I don't want to say too much because I still got a lot of things I do want to say, but I want to say rest in peace to him. He was definitely a pioneer, not only for the entertainment industry, but for a lot of Black, well-known celebrities, actors, philanthropists, scholars. He supported a lot of Black people in the Black community, especially opening doors for them in the entertainment industry. So I don't want to discredit that, but I do want to. I want to, because I'm King Roman News. I also want to see what we discover in this Diddy case. Okay, who did what now and where and who knew what? Okay, but I don't want to put it on him. I want this time to be a good time to, for us to remember him for all the great things he did. So rest in peace to Quincy Jones. All right, so before I kick off the show, I want to say good morning to my people. Thank y'all so much for being here with me this morning. Hey, Teradamo, good morning. Hey, Cruiser. The other day, I don't know who channel. Lemon. They were debating religion, and I said, "Where is Cruiser at?" You got people saying all kind of stuff. Coco. Hey, Lena, Tanya. All these some good familiar faces. Hey, Angie. Look at my moddies. Ox, thank y'all for coming over. Precious Pisces, King Kaios. Good morning, sir. Good morning to you. Who else in the building? Teresa. Good morning. What up, Cap? What's up, Cap? It was so good to see you all this weekend. It really was such a breath of fresh air. Enjoyed the conversation, all that good stuff. Hey, Caramel Bunny. Rainy, good morning to you, Rainy. Thank you for coming through, Rainy. I appreciate it. Hey, Detroit 313, Blackberry Molasses, get out of here working and can't speak English, but I'm here supporting. Thank you. I appreciate this support, y'all. D. Lynette, good morning. Miss LA, look at you. Good morning. Buddha Bell, TSW, Faith Driven, Moxie. Hold up, let me take a pause. I really do appreciate seeing y'all in a room like this, whether you come in just stopping by and moving on, because we really do be trying to do like some solidified shit down here, like I used to do all the time. And I'm so glad I went through my waves early in the game, because you get sort of like, oh my God, where's my 200, my 300 people at? But I like this because that really means you all fuck with me and you're over here because you want to hear this shit. Y'all saw the title. I ain't cussing the bitch out. I ain't doing none of that. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. All right, so let's get into some shit. Okay, Cat. Okay, Callie popping. Good morning. All right, so let's get into some shit. So we're gonna hit this get into the show, but before I begin, I do want to tell you, because this is a monetized channel and every little thing you do helps me. So please So let's talk about Shanquella Robinson. Let's kick the show off with Shanquella Robinson. So you all know the situation. You all know the story about Shanquella Robinson back in 2022. The Cabo Six and Shanquella, they were vacationing in Cabo, Mexico. Things went awry. We still don't know the circumstances, but allegedly she was jumped. Okay, neck broke. We saw all of this on camera. Everything leaked out. Mexican authorities attempted to do what they call a preliminary investigation, which turned out nothing. Feds can't do nothing because they're trumped by Mexico authorities. They don't want to intertwine, but then they're going to start a search, but then they're not going to start a search. So this has been going on over this 2 years, and I've been watching it. And I'm always typing in Shanquella updates. What's going on? So finally, the other day when I was preparing for my show, I typed in Shanquella updates. And lo and behold, the family, smart move on their part. We're going to talk about it. Smart move on their part. The family has come out now and they're filing a lawsuit against the Cabo Six. Now, that's cool. File a lawsuit because, see, let me tell you, the lawsuit against the Cabo Six at this point, really all that'll do is produce discovery that should aid like the FBI and aid, but it's really not going, unless they have true evidence from the Mexican authorities. This is really not going to be nothing more than discovery. But they're also filing a lawsuit against the FBI, and it was one more other agency, the U.S. Department of State and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, for investigative failures in delaying justice. The lawsuit seeks compensatory and punitive damages to address the profound emotional and financial toll. The family also calls for the arrest and extradition of Dejanay Jackson, one of the six vacationing, and we'll get to that. Now let's talk about this lawsuit against the feds in the state. So what do y'all think is going to happen in this lawsuit, right? They sue the feds, they sue the state. They're alleging that, hey, you are delaying your feet. There's been misconduct, and because of your misconduct and because of you delaying this case, we have felt emotional distress. We've also had to pay for our own attorneys to do some of the investigative work that you all should have been doing. Now, the state and the feds would have to prove we're not delaying this. This is why we're not delaying it. That comes whether they win or lose, it's going to be a win because they're going to have to prove this shit unless the feds and the state file with the court motion to dismiss on certain grounds, confidentiality, pending investigation, pending in progress. In order for us to talk about this, we would then have to fuck up that. So those grounds, but I was talking to my friend, I was like, so what do you think this? They said, this is all material. This is what you call court theater. This is very circumstantial because they would have to really have some sound evidence that the feds intentionally delayed their case. Now, that could come in a number of things, but where would they get that information from? This is where we get discovery in this case. So I'm excited for it. I'm happy whether they win or lose, however long it takes. I think this is the kind of pressure that needs to be applied. It needs to be fucking applied to them. This has been far too long. We saw cases be solved for fucking little. For little, less than nothing. And we're going to talk about them today. Less than little. And we're still 2 years and we don't know what happened correctly, because everything we're on right now is allegedly. We still don't know what really happened. We also don't know the key players. They're just out roaming about. So if they could do this to Dejanay allegedly, why haven't they been deemed a threat yet publicly? Well, I'll tell you why. You know, these motherfuckers around here changing their names and coming up with new identities so they can live a free world. So when this lawsuit came out against all of these different characters, folks got to snooping. Shout out to Danny Robertson. You know I'm a stan. You know I'm a stan of yours. I'm always over there in your bushes and everything. And they uncovered the fact that Dejanay done filed back in June of last year. Now, this is 1 year into it. A name change. She's no longer going as Dejanay Jackson. She's out here going as Imani Green. Imani Green. Imani Green. Imani. Bitch thought she wasn't going to get caught. I thank God for the black FBI. I thank God for us. Where you going, Imani? Bitch, you know we got the searching everywhere. Imani, North Carolina. Imani. Now they pulling up all her shit on Twitter. Now, because this girl is she's very litigious. Okay, I'm going to not push the gas on this one. I'm gonna let the Twitter do it. But type in Imani Green. That's Imani Green, Greene, and you see who she's become. Out there living her life like she's a regular fucking person. That's not fair. Whether she did it or not, some level of trial or court or somebody needs to be held accountable. If they know part of the story and they're not saying anything, well, damn, they need to be held accountable as well. So my pain is with the family. I'm glad to see that they did something. It lets me also know that they have a good legal team around them. Don't forget that they started the scholarship in North Carolina to support other victims of bullying, to help support. If you want to go through counseling or you want somebody to help you with your situation, they did start that. We covered that, I think, earlier last year. So shout out to the family on the update. Never forget. Don't ever forget these people's faces. Don't you ever forget these folks' faces. And this is also important too, because I take trips. I go on trips with people, with friends and shit. And we recently, if you hear from the beef sector, wherever you're from, I fuck with the beef sector. We went on a trip to Vegas. And this is why it's very important for whenever you're going on a trip with anybody, whomever you're going, any decisions you're making on that trip are yours and you own them. You own them. You know who you're going with, your sound. Okay, I'm not intoxicated and don't know my where. Didn't I tell you I was in that hotel sleep like this on 2 chairs? Eyes peeping. I ain't playing. What? Playing who? No, I'm not playing. And I advise you all to do the same. People are getting more crazier. Mental health is becoming more and more a reality, not just for the people we know, but for people we don't know. It's people who don't even know it, have mental health issues, and it don't show up until late in life when they're under such duress. Now, all of a sudden, we're seeing a different explosion of behavior, which we'll talk about Frank Tyson later on in the show. That recently popped up too, and I do want to talk about that as well, because what did it remind us of? George Floyd all over again. And me and my friend was laughing. He's so stupid. He said, in his job, they had to go through something, right? And so they had to tie a rope around their wrist and pull it. He works in a laboratory. Pull it. And it's an indicator of if it's too much pressure or not. And when you get it to a right, you take it off and you apply it to what you're doing. He said they need to do that to these damn police officers. They need to go do training. They need to lay on the ground and let somebody put their foot on their motherfucking neck. They kneel on their neck and let them know, hey, it's enough. So now you know when it's enough. So you know now. And I said, you know what? That is right. Now I wonder how legal that is. But that sound about right to me. So shout out to Shanquella and her family. We got to move on to this next story. I hope y'all enjoying the show. Make sure y'all hit that like button. And thank y'all for coming in the room. So this next story. Now, this shit caught my eye. And it was just like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So, y'all, it's just crazy to me that people are kids, fuck it, children are behaving this way. They're behaving this way. And then here, I gotta be shady, this local news, but bitch, beef sector and me. And then you got grown ass men, grown folks, old folks, no gums, worried about gay men not being raised in households with father figures because they'll come up and they'll be gay. You got boys that are 15-year-old shooting up their whole family with the father in the household, by the way. Father's in the household. And today he's not gay. So what do you explain that? Where your logic, taking your logic now, how does that apply to someone who does have a father in the home and a mother? But we'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. That's why I don't listen. That's why he can never give me no advice. You can never give me advice. Anyways, let's moving on. So y'all, I don't know if you heard about this story. 11-year-old girl played dead before escaping after 5 family members were killed at their Washington State home. This shit right here was just crazy. So this 11-year-old girl, she's in her home, Seattle, Washington, in her home. And she wakes up to hearing a commotion outside her room door. So she goes to her room door and looks across the room door and sees her father shot on the ground, sees her sister tiptoeing out like her, like, what's going on? And literally watches her shot on the ground. So she sees the father on the ground, the other brother shot on the ground, and the sister just got shot. So she closes the door, runs in her room, and the intruder comes in her room and shoots her and got a little scuff on her neck and I think on her foot, and she fell and played dead the whole time. Now here's the crazy shit. He then goes in and shoots the mother. Mother's off too. So now you got mom, dad, little brother, and sister shot in the house. This motherfucker goes into the bathroom. The sister's very coherent. Shot, but can hear. Playing dead very well. I applaud you, young girl. I applaud you. Playing very well. Just probably shaking and shit. Motherfucker goes to the bathroom, grabs the phone. No, I need help. My 13-year-old brother just shot the whole family and he tried to shoot me too, but I need help. Come. So you mean to tell me not only is this not an intruder, a burglar, this is one of the children? Not only one of the children, this is the 15-year-old son? So he didn't notice the girl done jumped out the window and ran to the fucking neighbors. Done called the police and told them, look, my brother just off the whole fucking family. Shot me too. Y'all better get over there. Mind you, they got the same call. So when the police showed up at the family door, he thinking they coming to rescue him. They like, nigga, put your guns down and let's the fuck go. Let's go. Now, y'all gotta listen to this story. Cause see, we just talked about something. Y'all. Why the police ain't shoot him? He done shot 4 or 5 people. He's armed and dangerous. Why they ain't shoot him? Why didn't they go in there with the same aggression that they would for a Frank Tyson or a George Floyd, who ain't got no weapons, ain't off nobody? I don't give a fuck if he was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, or 17. You know when someone's armed and dangerous. If you have the wherewithal to go and shoot your mom, your dad, your sister, and your brother, all roads leads me to believe when I'm walking in this bitch, if he ain't on the ground, when I say get on the ground, I'm pulling out the gun. But we ain't seen none of that. No. Nope. Nope. Another reason why it's important to vote. We ain't seen none of that. So police come in, they arrest this young man. The sister's in the hospital recovering. They haven't released no names, no pictures because of the ages. None of that. No motive. We don't know why this random act of violence. None of that. Everybody in the neighborhood is devastated. They don't know what the hell to make of this. What happened? Why did this even occur? Hell, I didn't even know. I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, what could have made him? And then carefully thought it out, literally thought it out. Walked into the bathroom like nobody heard it. Baby, I'm telling you, the streets ain't safe. Not only do you gotta watch the people around you, but you gotta watch in your own household if you ain't raising them right. Now I don't know how to raise him, what was going on. So of course, what I feel is gonna go to mental health. He's young. Is going to be a mental health, one of these situations where a child claimed abuse. Thank God we got a sister who can be a credible witness. I would love to see the classroom history. Was he bad in class? What was going on? Absolutely. You know I'm gonna follow this. So I want to give you all the update on this story. This was a very interesting story to me. I definitely want you all to hear some of the updates from a brother, okay, on what's going on here. And shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. And thank y'all for being here. Let's watch this.
15-year-old boy is due in court this morning to face these murder charges of his parents and 3 of his siblings. Carter Evans shows us how one victim survived and was able to tell police what she says happened.
4 days after a 15-year-old boy allegedly killed 5 of his family members inside their home, court documents reveal a harrowing aftermath. Police say the suspect called 911 out of breath and claimed that it was his 13-year-old brother, Benjamin Humiston, who had, quote, just shot my whole family and committed suicide too.
The RP's not saying that the brother had shot at all the other family members.
But as that was happening, a second 911 call was coming in, one from a neighbor.
The sister who went to the neighbor's house is now saying that our caller is the one who was the shooter and was alive when she left the house.
According to investigators, the 11-year-old survived gunshots to her head and neck, pretended to play dead as the suspect stood over her, and then managed to escape through a fire window in her room, then running to the neighbor's house with a stunning allegation. She told police the suspect shot her and her family with a silver Glock handgun that belonged to their father. Authorities now say the 15-year-old staged the scene before police arrived, so others would believe his younger brother Benjamin committed the murders and killed himself.
Has created a shadow over our town.
The murders have shocked the community, including Rhea Robertson, 9-year-old Joshua Humiston's soccer coach.
You're always smiling. All of the kids were always smiling.
After the initial court hearing Tuesday, the suspect's lawyer said, "We want the court to know that our client is a 15-year-old boy who enjoys mountain biking and fishing and has no criminal history."
You see what I'm saying?
Mornings, I'm Carter Evans from Los Angeles.
Are we paying attention and are we contrasting the stories? Did y'all just see how quickly the narrative goes from this person was armed and dangerous and able to kill off his whole entire family, something that no citizen in America is conscionable of doing unless there's some fucking crazy. He enjoys mountain biking. Who gives a fuck about a mountain bike? Is his mom alive to go mountain biking with him? I give this little nigga, this little boy, I don't give him no fucking empathy. I have none. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being honest with you. I have no empathy for someone who has the credence to off their family. And same way I feel about the Hendez brothers. Hell no. I'm very up in arms about them talking about they've served their time. They should be out. Excuse me? I wonder if the mother feel like that. If the father felt like that, if he was alive and the mom was off. So I have no remorse. I don't. No, I would love to see him tried in court for it. I would love to know the motive. It's not fair. And it don't need to be no 30 years. Okay, now he good to go back in society. I wouldn't trust him. He couldn't go no fucking where around me. So that's how I feel about it. I thought it was bullshit. And I hate how he was a great young man and oh, fuck all that bullshit. Where was the greatness at? If you was a great young man, I'm sure you'd have found somebody to talk to it about. No, that gives me the signs of a serial killer. That's what it does. Mountain biking, serial killer. I just don't. I don't. And shout out to Miss LA. I saw that too. Thank you so much for rocking for a few years. Thank you. I appreciate it, boo. And good morning to everybody else that came in. Sean P. Everyone does not take an oath to become a police officer to protect and serve. Some come with hidden agendas. Absolutely, they do. You're right about that. Hey, Voodoo. I see somebody saying, hey, what up, Sims Overdose? These kids out here unaliving grandma over video games. Put him under the jail. A 15-year-old. Hey, Mama Cynthia. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Moxie and Miss Baker? Look at my familiar faces. St. James. Good morning. Thank y'all for stopping through. All right, y'all. So let's talk about this next story. Okay. Whew. And I could relate to this man so fucking much because when I lived in an apartment, okay, in my old apartment, I went through this very same situation. And the difference was our doors were close to each other. This wasn't no go outside type shit. This was come in the building, knock on my door, his door right here. He complained about me, I complained about him. One day he complained so much that he ended up wanting to come and wanted to knock on my door and wanted to fight. I said, okay, hold on, let me go in. I went inside and I came out rightfully so. And now he want to call the police on me. Well, now you say he threatened me. So let's get into this story coming to us out of Minneapolis Police Department. Okay, remember George Floyd? So we have a young man named Mo Turi. Okay, back in October of 2023, him and his wife moved into this neighborhood in Minneapolis. And then they moved in there September 2023. They started having issues with a neighbor across the street, October 2023. Okay. Now, this neighbor has a history of being very vocally charged and racially charged to black neighbors that move into the community, typically running them out. So this neighbor moved in October. The neighbor just taking care of his house, trimming a tree, and all of a sudden the neighbor comes outside and starts cursing him out, saying stuff like, "You touch my tree and I'll kill you." Now, Maturi didn't know that this tree, him and his mother planted and groomed and built up on his property. You live over there. I'm over here. You want me to give a fuck about something? That tree on my property. Are you lucky I don't cut the bitch down? So the man throughout this from October to now, he's been coming out screaming, cursing at him, doing all kinds of things. So Maturi has been following police procedure. He would call the police, file a report, do all of those things. Nothing ever happened. And like most cases when it comes to us versus them, when we're being the plaintiff, when we're being the offender, taking the right route, it's always, well, that's not enough. Well, can you see if you work it out? Well, we can't do that. So now we have a situation. So last Wednesday, Maturi was outside in his front yard, and he got into another altercation with this guy. Now, let me show you this guy. Got into it with John Sawshak. So he's outside in his yard, again, grooming trees, cutting grass, preparing for the season. You know, it's autumn. And the man is talking shit. So much that he goes to his room window across the street and fires 2 rounds into Maturi. Now, as you can see from this picture, Maturi is standing up, a fine black man doing his thing. This is Maturi now. Who's at fault? Who's at fault? I say, who's at fault? So, catch, shoots him. Police come. Now, mind you, while this standoff is going on, the wife is calling police like, you need to come. This man got a gun. This shoots him. You think they go in and arrest? You think they go and get this man? Do you think immediately the man was arrested, put in a knee to the neck? Okay, do you think that shit happened? Come on now. We talking about America in 2024. Hell no, it didn't happen. It took them 3 fucking days to arrest that man in his own fucking house. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But you can go get Frank. He done crashed his car, probably drunk, ran up in a bar, unarmed, probably got mental health issues, but y'all can run up in there and kneel on his neck. But this motherfucker done shot someone, paralyzed them. Y'all see. Wednesday it happened. They didn't get the man until Monday. Early morning. Sunday, they show up at his house to arrest him. Sunday, mind you. Sunday. They said, oh no, he's heavily armed. We can't go and we got to get, SWAT. We need more people to come in because we don't want a bomb and we don't want the community. Are you fucking kidding me? For real? So they finally get him out peacefully. And we're here today. So we have the person who was the aggressor able to walk, take a picture for the mugshot, face okay. And we got the other guy leaving race out of it, sitting right here in the bed like this. Come on, y'all. I'm for real. Seriously. And here we go. Here we go, y'all. We're going to get to the elections a little bit more in this show. We only 30 minutes in. Donald Trump, biggest support and biggest ally comes from the Fraternal Order of Police, the police unions. All over America, they support him. You know why? Because he supports them having the control, the authority, the power, all of that. And you think Kamala Harris is getting support from them? Absolutely not. And so I ask you, think about those types of things. Because you see these issues we're having where it looks like it's unjust, where it looks like the law is tipped in somebody's favor and it's not tipped in another favor. That's because the cycle keeps repeating itself. We keep putting the same people in office. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to let them same players play on. And wait till we get to the end of the show when we talk about elections, y'all. You got to wait. I got some points for y'all. I got some points. Now, Maturi is unfortunately in the hospital. He's in a hospital. I believe it's paralyzed. He's either paralyzed from the neck. He was conscious for a day. The wife sat there by his side. So here's what the police said. The reason they didn't go in and get him right away, well, given reports of mental illness, the presence of firearms, possibility of explosives, and all of this in a residential neighborhood, a careful and methodical approach was required to ensure that lives were not lost. Do y'all ever see that anywhere on the other side? Notice how the first thing they say is mental. Given reports of mental illness, well, we always say mental illness. We always telling you, okay, it's mental. And you show up wanting to shoot, take a motherfucker down, knee on their neck, but not the same treatment here. Pay attention. Yeah, don't pay attention. Concerns about his mental health and him having firearms. So police union comes out and says this. He acknowledges that officers are hesitant due to fears of legal repercussions should the situation escalate into violence. Officers are now scared. They're scared of being prosecuted if they get into a situation where they make a mistake trying to do their job and protect the public. Y'all hearing this shit in real time. When y'all scared? When y'all been scared? Oh, now you're scared. This is definitely a tough pill to swallow. It's definitely one of those cases where the man did everything in his power. I mean, they had several police reports along the way identifying who the neighbor was, what the neighbor was doing, whether it was verbal, a verbal threat, whether it was brandishing a gun, all of those things. Mind you, before they moved into the community, this man had a long list of threatening other neighbors. Even the neighbors came out in defense of the black couple. Yeah, he's always like that. But yet he's the one shot and paralyzed. And this other man walked out with a mugshot and because of mental illness. Yeah, I'm going to stay tuned to this story. This is the shit going on in America. I'm going to stay tuned. We going to stay tuned to that story. All right. We got some time, y'all. We coasting. We're going to do an hour local news. We're going to do an hour on the election. So we got some time. I'm glad y'all rolling with me. And I'm very shocked to see that it's damn near like 100 folks in here on some hot topic shit. I really appreciate y'all for fucking it. Wow. Barn dog. Listen, baby. A whole wow. Now, let me sip this before we get into this next story. Because y'all thought that was something? Y'all gotta get into this shit. This is why I wanted to come back and talk to y'all. These motherfuckers are crazy out here. Now, mind you, I can't wait to get into this story. Old folks, old knees. Grown folks, no gums. This is for you. Since it's always important that we need black men in the household for these gay men. Because see, them gay men are the ones that's dangerous to society. If black men were in the households, so we're going to talk about the households where there's no black men in the household and there ain't no gayness in the household. And what happens then? What's your remedy then? Where's the black man then? Those are the issues you should talk about instead of worrying about us. Because see, I'm great. Pay my taxes, support other people's kids, not mine. I'm perfectly fine. Don't worry about the fuck I'm fucking. That shit gets me high every time he come out and step out trying to talk some shit. Shut your old ass up, you unimpactful ass ingrate, a dumbass citizen. Get the fuck out of here. So y'all, let's talk about this next story. Let's talk about it, guys. So mothers, imagine you wake up 6 a.m. in the morning. You got 3 boys, and they all have to go to school by 7 a.m. So your 2 oldest boys, they get ready and they out the door. But your youngest boy tells you, I ain't going to school today. I ain't going to school today. You ain't gonna make me go to school today. Well, if that's not your situation, catch this story. So we have mom and we have young baby. Mom is Teesha Jenkins. She's 46. And the son is Robert Florence. He's 16. And this story is coming to us out of Wichita, Kansas. Y'all hit that like button too. So on October 9th, Robert told his mom, I'm not going to school. I ain't going to school. Fuck wrong with you? And continue laid down, play video games. And she just, you gonna yell, you gonna go to school, you gonna get out my house. So he's like, I want to use your cell phone. I want to play games on your cell. I want to text. I want to use your. She's like, no. Then finally, he nagging her so much, she finally gives him the phone. Well, that wasn't enough. So now we got 7 going by. Now he done missed school. Now we at 8 o'clock, around 8 a.m. Hour after the other brothers left, where he should have been, where you should have texted that ass. You don't get no mother. Even my dog, if he wanna piss and he at the door, he got to wait till I put on my motherfucking shoes. Don't nobody tell me what to do in my house. I don't understand it. And maybe I'm not a parent, so I don't get it. But as an uncle, I see right through it. I don't want to go to school today. Then go stand outside because you got to get out. You get out. What you gonna do? Hit me? I'm not scared of you. I knock your ass clean the fuck out. You think if I can talk to y'all like this, you don't think I'm a baby? I think God was like, you know what? We're going to hold off on you being a parent. We don't need military style. You talking about a nigga with traditional values when it comes to parenting? Hell yes, I do. I'm going to be all up in your fucking ass. Ain't the teachers ain't going to have to call me about you in school because I'm already there. Oh, we was just about to call you. Ain't had to call for what? I was texting him. He ain't text me back. I'm up here. What's going on? Well, what are we doing? That's the kind of parent I am. So I already saw the red flags, but I asked ZX, where's the daddy? These the issues I want you to talk about. These issues. Where the daddy at? Where the daddy? You worried about gay men? Where's the daddy in this situation where you have a straight young 16-year-old boy telling his motherfucking 46-year-old mama what he gonna do in that household? Where the daddy at? Oh, we don't worry about that. He's straight. He fine. He can grow up like that. That's fine. That's common. That's what men do. Men like that. We men. But as long as you ain't gay. Check your ass at the door, dummy. Let's continue. So he doesn't want to go to school. She gives him the phone. He says to mama, I want some weed. 16-year-old boy says to mama, I want some weed. I want some weed. She says, I ain't got no weed and I ain't giving you no money for no weed. He says, well, I'm about to go downstairs and ask them if they got some weed. And she says, go. Like, whatever, fine, get out my face. He go downstairs and get him some weed, come back upstairs, and he ain't had no weed. You gotta pay for weed, 16-year-old man, young brother. Ain't nobody giving free weed out. So what does he do when he come back upstairs? He snatches every motherfucking curtain down in that motherfucking house. Snatch blinds, everything in that bitch. Snatching. I said, oh. Whoa. Where the daddy at? Bitch, do you know my auntie would have called the police on herself? My aunt's threats were enough for me to be like, you know what? I'm not even gonna deal with you. I'm just gonna go in my room. Leave me the fuck alone. I told you when she thumped me on my forehead that one time, I told her I wasn't doing the dishes. I ran upstairs in my room, laid on my bed, and my bed was facing the door. She came in and bust that door open and went plump right on my forehead. Bitch, that was enough. I said, oh my God. I jumped up so fast. Bitch, I was in there dawning shit down. I'm like, I was mad too. I was mad because the first time I ever like hit me like that. I'm like, what? And then put the fear of Jesus in my heart. Now my auntie is a grown old woman, and I'm a young man considering her age. I would never, just that fear factor right there. I would never put my hands on my auntie. Now it's respect. I respect her enough to know better. This right here. So that ain't it, y'all. Y'all thought that was something? Shit. Child. It gets worse. Come on in, crew, and hit that like button. So Robert, after snatching it all down, she's yelling, God, them snatching my shit. Get the fuck out my eye. You know how it goes. God, boop, bop, 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 bop. So he goes and grabs her bag. Because he knows what's in that bag. He grabs her bag, puts it on, and runs out towards the door. She snatches the bag from him. And what they both knew was in that motherfucking bag fell on the floor. What y'all think was in that bag? It was a gun, loaded. So what y'all think mama do? Go ahead, crew. We talking about America 2024, Wichita, Kansas. What y'all think mama do? With no black man in the household, grown folks, no black man in the house. What you think the mama do? Baby, mama, and shout out, thank you, baby. This coffee warmer is everything. I'm enjoying this coffee because it's staying warm. Shout out to you. I always be saying I want something. The next thing I know, this nigga got it. Anyways, mama grabs the gun off the floor and aims at her son and say, do you want to fucking die? She says, I would never imagine my mom pointing a gun at me. Now, before she did that, guess what she did? This is how she got caught up. She ratcheted the shit back. She cocked the shit back on her son. Talking about something she didn't think it was loaded. So if you didn't think it was loaded, why would you cock it back? You don't cock back guns that are not loaded. You don't have to. There's no need. She cocked that shit back. Do you want to die? He looking at his mom like, what? All of a sudden, the gun goes off. Pow. Shot her own fucking son right in the motherfucking face. Right through the skull. Right through the fucking skull, y'all. Right through the motherfucking skull. I'm trying to tell you, this shit is crazy. Do you just want to die? Mom allegedly intended to discharge handgun to scare her bad kid, but ended up shooting him in the forehead and killing him. Killed him. So she called the police. Mom, it's too late. It's too late. She called the police. Oh, Lord, my baby. Oh, all of that. Save it, honey. Save it. I have no empathy in my heart for anybody who pulls the trigger without the right intentions. I don't. Never do. Never do. I don't. I never do. I even am wise with my own stuff. I got a damn dog, and I'll be like, oh, I know where I got to keep everything in my house because how he gonna get on the shelf? But you know me, because if he hit the bottom and the shelf tip over and it opens up and he just pawn at it, I think like that. I think like that. Why you got that in your? And obviously he knew you had it in the bag. What are we talking about? Giving trap house teas. And I'm no shade, no fucking tea. I have to say it like this so other folks and parents can understand what I'm saying. So she calls. Police arrive on scene. She telling the police, shoot me now, kill me. I did not mean to take my son, arrest me and kill me. And this the picture we get. That's her in her picture. And that's the son, Robert. Her other two boys are now in custody. This shit is senseless. That should have never happened. That 16-year-old baby, he was literally a baby. And I look at all young boys who are just so unrowdy, and because I used to be one, and my brothers used to be one, and they are. And when you look at it at the end of the day, when you peel back all that roughage, all that, they want love, support, unconditional support. Whether it's the negative love, the tough support, I ain't buying that for you. I told you I do this one time this year. You already got it. I ain't doing it no more for you. Because that builds discipline. It taught me discipline. That's the type of tough love these young men, they need that toughness. You got to be tough on them, whether they're going to hate you or not. And I'm sure this mom probably stressed the fuck out. I don't know about her job situation. I don't know about her substance abuse situation, if that was an issue. All I know is that at the point your child told you that I am not going to school, that's the point I start counting. What are you going to do? You have that one moment. What are you going to do? Because if we'd have let it happen like this, he would have been safer at where? School. I'd have got on the bus with your motherfucking ass, grabbed your ass up. Which I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not saying it being funny, but it's something else that I thought about too, which is a reality for a lot of mothers with sons. Some of these boys be putting their hands on their mothers. Some of these boys be putting their hands on their mothers and some of these boys are threatening to their mothers. I've heard it more than once. And when I hear stories like this and I hear how she just was so careless about it, it made me think like, are you afraid of your son? Are you afraid of your child? And that's so disheartening, y'all. And I don't have a womb. I don't know that bond, that 9-month bond. But all I know is as a person, as a human being, that is just so disheartening to know that there are mothers who are so afraid of their children, they can't even say that kind of shit to them. And I'm going to be honest, if you are that mother or you know someone, you got to go through counseling. You got to go through therapy because what you're not getting over is your own trauma, your own traumatic trauma, your own reasons for not doing something, your own. So you feel so bad that you've allowed this kind of shit to happen to you in your life. Like I tell my boyfriend all the time, I don't give a fuck how I did this. I'm not letting this happen moving forward. You're going to be right up in here. Up in here. Yeah. So I send my condolences to the entire family, to the mom. I send my condolences to Robert, the brothers. I don't have nobody else to blame, y'all, but the mom. I don't have the police. I'm not blaming I blame the father for not being there in general. Fuck this situation, nigga. Be there in general. Fuck all that bullshit. And I don't know if he's dead or whatever the situation may be. He might be passed away. I don't know. Just speaking on assumption here. But I will say for this situation here, I definitely feel deep. I know she deeply regrets not getting his ass about going to school. That's why it's important too. It's another deterrent from the streets. Yeah, they may not like school. Take your ass in there anyways. I don't give a, you failed 3 courses, but get your ass in that building. Get in there. I'm the kind of dad, I'll sit with your ass all damn day. I'm right here. Where we going next? Science, you ready? All right, let's go. Well, we got to go to, you eating pretzels. We ain't doing lunch today. You got pretzels, celery, and you going to get apple juice. I ain't fucking, you going to study during lunch. I ain't playing that shit today. We're not doing that. So yeah, shout out to the family. And this came to us out of Wichita, Kansas. All right. Now, these stories just get worse and worse. Shout out to the crew for being in the building. Please hit that like button. What's up, KK Nice? Cruz, good morning to y'all. Thank y'all for being here. What's up, Shani? Sad as fuck for the other kids. Okay. Crazy. Lena, I'm telling you, my TT was no joke. She was no joke. She was tired of his bullshit. Yes, she was. You can tell. You can absolutely tell. It's very sick. Sometimes parents tiptoe around their children because they're afraid to hurt their feelings. They are overly compensating. Woo! Baby. So let's get into this other story. Is that all I want to share about Teesha Jenkins? The defendant is currently being detained on 1.2 million bond. Child. Now, this other story, this directly connects to me. So yes, I will admit, I am one of those drivers who does have road rage. I do not like to be cut off. If you cut me off, I'm going to speed and cut your ass back off. And I'm working on it. Thank God I have a partner in my life who realizes that and always says, I'll drive. Two, I don't like people who drive slow and take up so much space that you can't like meet the light. Like, damn, bitch, go so we can get to the light. That irks my nerves, all of that shit. So I'll be cursing as a bitch. I try to control it. I've been getting better on it. Here's the reason why. This next story, it is, baby, ain't nothing. It ain't nothing good about this story right here. So this next story is coming to us out of Riverview, Florida. Kentavious Golston, 26-year-old man. Yeah, I ain't playing. So this man, wrong man. This man, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but Kentavious Golston. So this man is driving on a 2-lane highway. 2 lanes, 1, 2, only 2 cars. So you have this grandfather and his adult grandson in their construction truck on their job, driving from one worksite location to another worksite location. And if you all know anything about these people in these kind of trucks, they can only go so fast because they're carrying shit in the back. Even I'll be like, God damn, why they turn in front of me? Bitch, move so I can get over. So in this situation, you got this man in this truck with his stuff, and you got another car. So you got Kentavious behind the grandfather just leaning, beeping at him. So finally, they get to a light, and Kentavious goes around him and looks at him like, what the fuck you doing? And goes in front and cuts him off. So he cuts him off, and he just starts braking. Now, mind you, the granddad driving the truck couldn't really pivot like that because, you know, they don't have the trucks where they can pivot. So he's trying to stay the course while his grandson is here. I can only imagine with my granddad right here and we doing this shit like granddad. I know I would have granddad, let's just stop because we really can't even, I know, let's just chill. So they keep going. So when they get to a red light, granddad gets out of their truck and walks over to Kentavious. Kentavious rolls his window down like, what's good? And granddad goes to punch Kentavious in the face, and Kentavious shoots granddad in the forehead, right in front of the adult grandson's eyes. The adult grandson gets out the car to go to help. Like, what's going on? He aims the gun at him like, you better get your ass back in the car. And he goes and get back in the car. And he calls 911. Kentavious gets in his car and speeds off. The granddad's on the ground. So Kentavious goes and disassembles the gun, throws it in a river. He takes the plates off the car. And he goes home and calls an attorney. Now, at this point, they got this all splashed over the news in their community in Fall City, Washington. No, not Fall City, Riverview, Florida. Splashed over the news. So the attorney says, yeah, turn yourself in. So he turns himself in, and it's all under what? Defense. Self-defense. Self-defense. I read the story, and I said, God, this is you giving me a lesson. This is you telling me that I need to become a better driver and calm my ass the fuck down. Because as easily as it could have been them and the roles could have been reversed, I could have been the guy breaking and driving, and the man could have came around and wanted to shoot a gun at me. So y'all, we got to be very fucking careful. We're not dealing with the same individuals. We think we dealing with people like we know every day. No, some of these motherfuckers don't care. They're willing to use their gun. You got to be careful. Now this grandson done saw his grandfather get murdered and killed. I know he's living with the guilt for the rest of his life of what he should have done, what he could have did. Motherfuckers are crazy. So he takes the plates off, disassembles the gun. He's now facing a second-degree murder charge. And here we are. Fucking sucks. My condolences definitely goes to the family, the grandfather, the grandson, and the relatives. And I hope it's a lesson to us that's watching this that are not impacted directly by this. Slow your ass down or just be patient. If you got to leave earlier to get where you're going, I don't know what I can tell you. I got to tell myself the same thing. Roman, it ain't that I be wanting to blast my music and chill, and you just calm the fuck down. It ain't that serious. Calm down before we find ourselves in these situations. Seriously. And before we go into the next story, please, y'all hit the like. And I hope y'all enjoy it. It's been a minute since we did local news and hot topics, but I really do appreciate it. And listen, if this is your first time from Off On Go and you're here, after this video is over with, let me know how you liked it, because you know it'll be your first time, and let me know what you like, what you don't like, and what I could change about the show, because I do want to come back and do more stuff like local news and hot topics. All right, so let's get to this next story. Let's keep the show going. So now this shit right here, this be the shit I be talking about. This be the shit I'm talking about. So and old folks, grown folks, these are the stories I want you to talk about, since you so engulfed in how men should be and old men and we so men. Well, let's talk about it. So we have a Keenan Turner, y'all, and he don't even look like no motherfucking Keenan Turner. This is Keenan Turner, child. Keenan Turner. He looked like he need to be Zachary Waits. Okay, something heavy and long. Zachary Waits. Keenan Turner. So Keenan Turner fucked around and had relations with this woman named Ebony Wright. Fucked around, had relations with her. This is about, I want to say, a couple years ago, maybe 4 years ago. Not couple, 4 years ago. Had relations with her. And he didn't really like her, but it was just a get a nut off type thing. He was just trying to fuck. And I'll be honest with you, Ebony is a little bit bigger. He probably is not. He just wanted to fuck. From all things that I read, it was just a fuck type thing. Well, Ebony sent him a message 4 months later, like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." So no, Ebony sent him a message right away. "Hey, I'm pregnant and I'm keeping it." He never responds, leaves her alone. So 3 months later, what she does is say, "Hey, I'm taking you to court for full custody and I want you to pay child support." Now, all of a sudden, we talking about the Coindellas. He wants to be in a child's life. So 4 months later, as she's pregnant, he calls her and says, "Hey, I'd love to meet you and talk about this in the sun. I'd love to meet you." As the baby, now she done had the baby. Sorry, she had the baby 4 months after her having a baby. That's when she wants custody. She wants child support, all of that stuff. So he wants to meet her and the baby. So she kind of off iffy, like, what? Okay. She obliged. Girl, these niggas be finessing. Girl, you want to meet 4 months afterwards, only after I done filed for child support and full custody? You want to meet? Let's meet at the police station. I don't trust you, nigga. Let's sit outside on the footsteps. You can meet them then. The fuck? Can I call the detectives? So she obliged. So they go to her sister's house. She sets it up at her sister's house. She has her mother, her sister, and the 4-month-old baby all at her sister's house to meet the father. So y'all, the father comes over, playing time. And for the first hour, he meets the baby, meets the mom. They talk and it's giggly and all that good shit. This nigga walks to the bathroom. He comes out the bathroom with a gun pointed at the Ebony. Shoots her first. There was no conversation. There was no nothing. He came out the bathroom, gun. Shoots Ebony. Ebony was holding the baby. So Ebony gets shot. The baby falls down. Baby's crying now. He think he shot the baby, so he's fine. He feels good. Shoots the mother next. Mother falls on the ground. Now the sister was in the back room, so he goes back there and shoots her, and he thinks she's passed away. So he then leaves out the house. The sister gets up stumbling because she heard the baby. She gets the baby. She runs to the neighbor. Help, help, I need help. And this is how he gets caught. Had it not been for her being alive, that baby probably would have been there and wouldn't have been no credible witness at all. Stumbled. So he grabs the documents, the custody documents, all that shit off the table, sets them on fire, throws it on the middle of the table before she grabs the baby and walk out because he wants to kill everything. She grabs the baby and walk out. He also tries to destroy the Ring camera. He couldn't. The Ring camera still got footage of him. And the greatest thing about Ring camera is once it records your footage, it's in the cloud. So whether you take this down or not, bitch, it's in the cloud. Like, what? I can see last year if I wanted to on my Ring camera because I got my shit backed up. And then I download them right here. Yeah, I'm like that. Especially with these Mac. Yeah, I'm like that. Ooh. So the sister grabs the baby. Now, the sister decides she's gonna raise the baby, but the sister was a college student at the time. The sister continues to go to college, North Carolina A&T, shout out to A&T, and decides that she's gonna raise the baby and keep the baby moving forward. He was just indicted this year on this in Clinton, Maryland. He's gonna face 68 years in prison. 68 years in prison. That's just not enough for me. 68 years in prison. I thought he was gonna get life, a couple consecutive sentences. But again, we talking about Clinton, Maryland. You know, one of the most left, right leaning states around. Yes, it is. You may think it's liberal. No, it ain't all that liberal. I want to send my condolences to this family. You have an entire family, y'all. Look at this family. Entire family. You see Ebony. You see the mom, middle, and you see the daughter, the sister, with the glasses on her head. Because he didn't want to pay child support. Old folks. I said, old folks, what's your advice in this situation for black men? Since all the advice you got for black men is they got to be in a household so their sons don't come out being gay. What about this black man who's straight and he don't want to pay child support? You got any advice for him? You little coward. You fucking off, you doodle head, brain ass nigga. You always want to redirect your attention on us when it's men out here straight. Some of the most heinous fucking crimes. Heinous. Bitch. That shit, it be irritating me, y'all. Now, before we exit out of local news, we got to talk about the story of the hour. Frank Tyson from Cleveland, Ohio. Now, this situation happened back in May. Where we had this guy, Frank Tyson, and we'll show. Am I going to show it? Let me see. No, I'm not. We have Frank Tyson. So, yeah, I'm going to show it. Frank Tyson, I'm going to show you the video. Frank Tyson was heavily intoxicated. It was obvious he was heavily intoxicated. And so he was driving and he crashed into a pole. He got out of his car. He ran into the local bar. As he was in the bar, he was being very outspoken, saying people are after him. They're going to get him. Ding, ding, mental health kick in. Police arrive. First thing they do is they go in. No questions asked. No, how are you, sir? What's going on? Get down. Grabbing at him. So the man falls down on the ground. And we have another situation where they're kneeling on his neck and we can hear through the body cam footage he's saying, I cannot breathe. I can't breathe. I don't know how much more clear we can be. I don't know if we got to speak in proper English. Pardon me. But if you move your knee, I'd be able to breathe way more freely. Or, hey, would it be possible if you move your knee from my neck so I could breathe? Maybe country. Hey, y'all. I know y'all trying to do y'all job, but can y'all move y'all's knee off my neck? Cause right now I can't breathe. Do we need to? Is this something that we need to learn and pass along to each other? Like, hey, you know how to do it. Flip code. Because at this point, I'm starting to ask myself, like, damn, can you imagine being in a situation? And I hate to go here, but like your safety word when you in intimate moments, and somebody pass your safety word. Like, look, hey, okay, I done said it. You feel violated. Now, granted, he didn't go and kill his whole fucking family and hide in the bathroom and lie and say it. He didn't do that. But they didn't kneel on that nigga neck either. He didn't shoot up the fucking neighbor because he was trimming the tree that his mom planted. Gives a fuck about. I'd have tore that. I'd have cut that. That whole tree would have been on the street. Bitch, try it. We would have been warring over there. Bitch, tanks and all. They didn't go. They took 3 fucking days to go arrest that man. But here we got a simple situation. Remember, 3 days because we know there's instances of mental illness. But clearly, just anytime somebody tell you they're after me, you need to start looking inside. Like, is this man sick? What are we doing here? So we're here. So I want to share this with you all, and thank y'all for being here again so much. We almost out of local news, but I definitely want to share this story with you because it's been I heard it come back up, and it's all because they finally got the two police officers arrested. So let me pull it up.
Now to breaking news out of Canton, where the Stark County coroner has ruled Frank Tyson's death a homicide in a preliminary report. Tyson died back in April after a series of events led to his arrest by Canton police. 3 News obtained a copy of his death certificate. Mitty Hicks has been combing through that and joined us now with details. Mitty, what's the latest?
Well, good evening, Russ. I can tell you that we were able to obtain a copy of that death certificate within the last hour, and it was updated to reflect the Stark County Coroner's Office recent ruling that Frank Tyson's death is a homicide. So Frank Tyson died in police custody on April 18th of this year. Canton police released the body cam video from the incident. In parts of that video, Russ, you can hear Tyson saying the words, "I can't breathe." He later died in police custody. Now, according to the death certificate, there are 2 causes of death here. The immediate cause is cardiopulmonary arrest in association with physical altercation and prone restraint. According to the death certificate, this happened within minutes. There is a second cause of death listed on here, and that has to do with underlying conditions or causes, which they list as ischemic heart disease and acute intoxication by cocaine. Now, a source tells 3 News this information has been forwarded to the prosecutor's office, but it's up to them to decide what to do next, Russ.
Mitty Hicks in Canton, thank you so much.
Now, what I don't understand, which we're gonna watch, because I really want y'all to see the actions that was taken here and how quickly things escalated for no fucking reason when they really did not have to escalate like this. And I always want to do that because if you find yourself in these situations, you also need to know what you're getting yourself involved in. Many of us, you know, you never fucking know. You might need to run into a place because somebody running after you, and then somebody call the police on you. You might need to now know, hey, ma'am, I'm not coming in danger. I'm running from danger. You might need to understand now I need to communicate because now you're looking at me just running as a threat. Bitch, I'm not threatening you. And I hate to say it like that, but anything we do is oftentimes a threat. I remember I was talking like this in a meeting. It's a little aggressive. Okay. Stuff I had to learn. And we're seeing this stuff in real time. Real fucking time. She made all these threats. he was doing this and he was doing that in the bar. You get to the bar, he's literally standing where the door is. I'm expecting him to have ran all around in the place, punching people. You mean to tell me the door's right there and all he did was take a step from the door to right there, and whatever he did was so threatening that they had to come in and do that? Y'all better stop fucking playing with me. Like stop playing with me. All right, y'all. It's processing. If anybody know about StreamYard? God damn StreamYard. Baby. I thought I had it already uploaded. I was up this morning switching my house from fall to winter. So that means I brought all my winter shit. Damn. It ain't never take this long. Well, anyways, I would really like to know what is the point of putting your knee on someone's neck and back, especially when handcuffs are on. The person is clearly not resisting. Tennessee whiskey. King Romans, if our local news was on TV, was being reported by you, more people will watch. Okay, I hope so. Baby, I have a target on my back. I vowed to stay single, not worth the trouble, and I want peace. I feel you. He should be serving a couple life. That's what I said. Memphis T, good morning to you. All right.
Tiger did this. He's in the VFW. He ran in there.
He ran in where?
Right now, yeah, and his car's right there.
All right.
Yeah, he's in the VFW right now.
Please get him out of here now.
I ain't leaving that. No, get the sheriff. No, we're going outside. We're going outside. No, you ain't killing me. You ain't killing me tonight. You ain't killing me. No, you guys are killing me. They're on here. They're trying to kill me. 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 Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff first. Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff. They're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. You're going to get sprayed. I don't get close here. You're going to get sprayed. That's the story right there. I'll be glad to reach it for you. Okay.
I can't breathe.
Your phone.
25.
Good. I'll talk to you all about it.
It's on locker room headquarters.
Now, something else that they want to leave out is the fact that there was about a good 5 minutes while the police officer sat just like this, while the man just laid on the ground. No compressions, no kind of life-saving measures implemented at all, executed at all. They just sat right there. And that's what I'm talking about. The injustices, and not only the police behavior, but it's so systematic because you see it in states all across everywhere, from Ohio to Wichita, to here, to there, to there. You always got to be mindful of this shit. That's why it's always a lesson in every story that you see all the way around. So now, these two officers have been indicted by a grand jury. Now check this shit out. So it happened in May, right? It prompted, Ben Crump and everybody to say, hey, we need somebody to look at this shit. Because when it initially happened, nothing. The unions came out. All police is doing their work. They're protecting them. Now, once the Ohio's Bureau of Investigation, they came out with this probe and this report saying, yeah, we found some failures, y'all. So they took that report and they were able to go to a grand jury and say, look what we got. This is what we found. And so the grand jury has now said approve the charges, indicting them, and they'll face, now here's what kills me, they're going to face 3 years, possibly $10,000 fine, and that's it. And again, this is why I put this last, because it leads us right into our next topic. This is why it's so important to vote. One of the things that Kamala Harris and the Harris and the Waltz campaign actually want to execute is actually that police reporting. The police tracking, that exclusive database that houses information on police officers who have done these types of things. So that in addition to a 3-year sentence, in addition to a $10,000 fine, bitch, you get listed. Because what happens is, see, 3 years ain't shit. $10,000 ain't fine when they can go to the county over and get another police job and do the same fucking shit over with. This is why it matters to vote. See, Trump is okay with the unions doing everything they want to do. Child, if you want to do it, that's fine. We need to stop that. And it sounds good to, well, Trump is for traditional values or the economy. That's good. That's good. But it's not equal. It's not that isn't equitable for everyone. What is equitable? Shit like this. Where does he stand when it comes to right sizing and correcting the police departments across the nation? And no, I'm not saying get rid of the police department. We need them. Shit, I be calling. Yeah, we need them. What I'm saying is we need to start looking at all these cases and bringing about national change. We need a police registry. Absolutely, we do. I'm not saying all police officers need to be listed and their performance evaluated. No, but those who are indicted on charges and then they're convicted, we have a database of criminals. Why we can't have a database of convicted police officers? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, y'all? Don't they go to jail just like anybody else? Why we can't have a list of them? So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, and that's how I wanted to segue into our election topic. Shout out to everybody still in this building. Local news is crazy. Come through, Coco. That's murder. I'm telling you, Miss Juicy Reviews, good morning. We already know they're gonna serve 6 months at the most and maybe do a couple years of probation, probably getting paid leave as we speak. Trust me, and to your point, they started in 2022. When this went down, they've been on traffic patrol. When this went down back in April, all they've been doing is been on paid administrative leave up until now. The charges, now they've been relieved of duties. Are you kidding me? Paid. Man, get the hell out of here. All you're doing is also adding to their years of service, their years of pension. You don't know what level that might put them at, if they should retire, any benefits they receive. Like, I see the game. I know how the game goes. I do it too. Absolutely needed for police. All right, y'all. So if you're not an election kind of person, this next half of the show is definitely not for you, because we are about to get into the election conversation. We're going to talk about it. We're going to cover a lot of things. We're going to talk about the last day, current polls, battleground states, a lot of different things, but most importantly, Trump's for blacks. I'm here to talk to you. And I don't want to single you out or anything, but we're going to have a good conversation. I want to be very, very clear about where I stand and where you stand. And then I have a very cute little video to play at the end. But before we start, I want to say this was the cutest, y'all, and y'all hit the like button and let me take a smoke. Let me switch it up. We finna go into right here. Let's go. All right, let's get into these elections, baby. You know what was the cutest thing about the elections is that I love when it comes around and it's Halloween. People always want to dress up like one of the elected officials or the candidates. This year, you had so many motherfuckers who did Kamala Harris, baby. So many people did Kamala Harris, niggas, females. But it was one dude that did this shit, and he did it so fucking well. When I saw it, I said, oh, I got to share with my people. So y'all check this nigga out. This shit is hilarious as hell. This is him as Kamala for Halloween.
Sir, you're just like mom on purpose, aren't you?
Yes.
Thank you. I just want to make sure.
And let me be very clear. We're turning the page. Donald Trump wants us to go back to a place we used to be.
Oh.
And we're not going back. Come on.
I'm not going back.
Let me be very clear about that. Okay? He's so unserious.
I'm serious. He's a loser.
That's it. But thank you so much. Your support means so much. It's invaluable. So
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Make sure you tag me, okay?
Absolutely.
Just tag me. Tevin Davis is my name. Okay. Thank you so much.
Baby, that was some good ass. I wish I would have figured that out. I would have did that. Don't forget my cousins. You know I'm gonna get into that. You know I ain't gonna leave them unturned. Shout out to that. I love that. So y'all, let's talk about the last day of the campaign, where we are now, where we at. So everybody is pretty much back on the ground. My friend is actually an election, not a campaign worker for the Kamala Harris, and this weekend they did the phone bank, and then they did they was walking they had a canvas from DC to Pennsylvania, and you track your miles and you knocking on doors. Unfortunately, wasn't able to join either or of those, but they've been doing that, a lot of stuff like that. You got Trump folks, they've been canvassing communities based off of data. Now they've been doing their thing as looking at the numbers where we're not heavily impacting at, that's where we need to go. So they've been trying to do the whole thing they did when they were running against Clinton. And so, ever so often it works. Then you have these fucking rallies. You have Kamala rallies that's, and powerful, insightful. It's definitely meaningful. A lot of people feel like, she's selling, blowing smoke up our asses, whatever. And I always say, well, if you think Kamala's blowing smoke up your ass, if you think she is, what do you think Trump is doing? What do you think Trump is doing? Donald Trump. So this past week, everybody was up in arms. Okay, up in arms about the statements that came from Trump's rally. Now, if you didn't hear it, we're going to talk about it. So check this shit out.
Right? Heck yeah, it's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that, a lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding, that's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun, we carved watermelons together. It was awesome. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this. It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies, too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
Ciao. Yeah, I know why I always do that after the video, because whoever video I'm playing, I want to make sure they don't think that I'm trying to put them in a bad light, or I don't want any of that. So I always do that. And I call it in consideration. Ciao. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being at the Trump rally, being black or Puerto Rican, and you hear him saying something like that, and you take it like, oh, I eat chicken, I'm eating watermelon. Where is the empowering? Did that feel empowering to you all? Then they say Donald Trump didn't say it. Yeah, but it's at your campaign rally, your people that you vetted at your campaign rally, and we're supposed to be okay with that. Oh, but they're okay with it. See, and this is the shit I'm talking about. This is when I start looking at people funny. They're actually okay with it. So check this shit out. Goofy shit.
We like jokes.
We do. And we understand the importance of a comedian having the freedom to push the envelope, because that's always been what has separated comedians from like everyday folks, right? Where they can push the envelope to either make you laugh or make you think or challenge you, right?
Pero, because obviously we're such proud Puerto Ricans, I will say that it is not a little floating pile of trash. This beautiful island filled with beautiful people that love the beautiful island, and it's okay to have different opinions. That's what makes America great, that people could just have different opinions. So you know what? We're not offended. Did we like the joke?
No,
I didn't like the joke.
I didn't like
I
the
don't even
joke.
think the crowd, he bombed that joke.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. Don't get me wrong. At first, I'm like,
the joke
wow, that's
in
crazy.
New York City maybe was not like in the right landing.
Probably right. Probably
Well,
not
I
the
don't know.
right.
I have
mixed.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you that like brainwashed that you're okay? Now here's the funny thing, right? Here's the funny thing. Let that have been a black person saying that to a bunch of Puerto Ricans. Let that have been a black person saying, and their island over there is a pile of garbage. Oh hell! Who the fuck? They arms race at us. Oh, but you okay because you think he gonna come save you. You remember y'all electrical grid that fell the fuck out, not for weeks, not for days, for months. for hundreds of thousands of citizens without an electrical grid. You know what Donald Trump said? I ain't giving them no motherfucking money. Because in his mind, what that comedian said is what he believes. Or you think he gonna make the economy better? You think by him getting in, he gonna give you more jobs? Don't y'all know he looking at y'all as part of the immigrant population? See, ain't nobody gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. He don't think Puerto Ricans are Americans. That's the shit people don't want to say because they want to be politically correct. Thank God I got a YouTube channel. I can say what the fuck I want to say. Donald Trump allegedly does not look at Puerto Ricans as American citizens. He look at you all as immigrants. Yes, he does. That's what he looks. So when he hears that about he casually let that go. He won't say that about the UK. Oh, that's a pile of garbage over there. He won't say that about them. Certainly not. They won't say that about Saudi Arabia. That money tied up over there. They won't say Russia. They got very base speaking women over there. They won't say that. But they're gonna come for the Puerto Ricans. They don't respect you all. They don't respect you all. I don't know why you don't see it. And it was a joke. No, it wasn't a joke, but I see you. I see you. And again, my whole goal here is not to persuade anybody to do anything differently than they want to do. The only thing I want to do is put facts in front of you and sort of have a conversation about it. Walk away doing what you want to, but I do want to be able to say, like, look, do you see this shit? Like, you do see it, right? Now, he said something else. He said this. This is what he said.
And my people told me about 4 weeks ago, I was saying, no, I want to protect the people. I want to protect the women of our country. I want to protect the women. Sir, please don't say that. Why? They said, we think it's very inappropriate for you to say. I said, why? I'm president. I want to protect the women of our country. They said... They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say, pay these guys a lot of money. Can you believe it? I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them.
Baby. Any time, and I'm speaking to the women. I'm speaking to the women right now. Men, tuck your dick, pull your dick, ghost. I'm speaking to the women. Anytime a man tells you, I'm going to do this for you, whether you like it or not, is a motherfucking red flag. It's a red flag. I don't give a fuck if the motherfucker said he gonna give you this, X, Y, and Z. If you have no input, if you have no engagement with that, that's a red flag. So for Donald Trump to come out here and say, I'm gonna protect women, who does that sound like, y'all? Don't it sound like ZX? Don't it sound like grown folks? You hear the tone in these men? I'm gonna do this because I'm a man and I can do it. Really? Really? No consideration of how it may make you feel. No consideration of any of that. But because I'm in power, I'm a man, I know it can protect you. Y'all don't need abortions. You just need us to strengthen the law, the family values. Oh, we're gonna get to them family values because I'm sick of y'all talking about these fucking family values. Roman's gonna break it the fuck down. I'm sick of that shit. But you need me. We had Donald Trump for 4 years. Women, what can you concrete say he's did for you? That man barely wanted to enact strengthen maternity leave. Barely. So he's your savior now. Okay, let's stay tuned. So those are some of the tidbits from these current rallies. This is the kind of tone that you've been hearing from the rallies on behalf of Trump. So currently, right now in the battleground states, our battleground states, our battleground states are Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Michigan, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Nevada. Now, the current polls is showing that Harris does have a lead by 0.9%. Okay, and we're going to talk about that 0.9%. Now, polls, let's talk about the polls. Polls are very subjective. You have left-leaning polls, you have right-leaning polls. These polls are done by think tanks. I'm sharing this with you all because I want you to look at them like fallacies. Like, okay, because some polls are only given to an audience of Republican voters. Some of them are only given to Democratic voters, and they're going to say what you want them to say. So there's certain polls that you really have to pay attention to, that both candidates really pay attention to. So you have these polls out here. They're doing all of these different things. Some of them are funded by, Republican PACs. Some of them are backed by Democratic PACs, but they're putting out polls. And you have these polls. Recently, as of this week, there's been an interesting tick in a poll. Now we're going to talk about it because, see, this is where you get political theater. And when it comes to political theater, I like to break the silos, whether it's a Dem doing it or a Republican doing it. We're going to talk about it. So we got this new poll saying that Iowa, which has typically been a Republican-leaning state, gonna get Trump. No one ever thought about it. Dems like, well, fuck it. Republicans already got him. Republicans like, we ain't even got to go campaign there because we got it. Uh-oh. So recently, a very reputable poll, a nationally recognized Iowa poll, shows Kamala Harris picking up support from women to surpass Donald Trump in a ruby red state. Now, ruby red indicates that it's hardcore red. But the key indicator here is the people, the audience that moved this ruby red state from being totally Republican to now being Democrat has been women. Why women? Why women? Well, what is it about? What is it about this? What it shows is, this is what it's telling us. It's telling us that particularly women who are older and politically independent prefer Harris. Break it down even smaller. White women in rural Iowa, okay, we talking about the white women who are very independent. They probably got their own ranch, farm, business, something like that. They're typically independent. They go with what they feel. But because of what Donald Trump has been saying, they are now poised and pivoting to voting for Kamala Harris. It's just an eye-opening to how this is all turning out and how this is looking. Now people are saying, uh-oh, he lost Iowa. What does this mean? Well, here's the thing. Iowa is about 6 electoral votes in the whole college. I think it is. Don't quote me. Don't fucking quote me. It's been a long time. It's not what I'm basically saying, it's not a large enough number for him to not make it up by other states. But what they're saying is he cannot, because he lost Iowa, he cannot afford to lose another state. That's already been mapped out. See, Iowa has already been mapped out for Donald Trump. Now that it's taken out, he can't afford to lose another state. I say, ain't that interesting? But it doesn't mean that it changes a lot, because again, it is in a higher number of electoral votes in Iowa. So here's Iowa's poll. 47% have been voting for Kamala Harris. 44% have polled to vote for Donald Trump. Now, I want to say this. This is from 808 voters between October 28th and October 31st. Okay. Now, take it for what it's worth. Does it matter? It depends on who you talk to, how you talk to them. Do I think it matters? I think it matters because it shows us a bigger narrative of how people are, especially undecided voters, how they're pivoting, right? They're pivoting on these kind of issues. And when you think about undecided voters, they're typically the business, those folks who are business minded, those folks who are either independent, head of their households, who make a lot of the decisions on their own. And when you think about the things that Donald Trump has been saying, what I've just played in those rallies, a lot of that is swaying them the other way. Now people saying, well, he's great for the economy. That's semantics. It depends on who you talk to. You think you're going to get another stimulus check? That depends on who you talk to. Those checks didn't come from Donald Trump. They came from Congress. Come on now. So the Iowa poll, women, age and gender. So battleground states. So our battleground states, as of this morning, how we're polling this morning in our battleground states and our key battleground states, what we're seeing is Only 2 states so far in the battleground states, Michigan holds a lead. So in Michigan, Harris holds a lead. She holds a lead in Michigan, and she holds a lead in Wisconsin. Okay, so she has in Michigan a 0.8 lead and Wisconsin a 0.6 lead. Now Trump, on the other hand, he has a couple of leads. He has a lead by 2.5 points in Arizona. He has a lead of 1.5 points in North Carolina and Georgia. He has a 0.9 advantage in Nevada and a 0.3 lead in Pennsylvania. Now, that 0.3 lead is why you're seeing everybody in Pennsylvania today. Kamala's in Pennsylvania today with Oprah, Lady Gaga, Ricky Martin, Just Blaze, a whole host of other folks. Trump is also in Pennsylvania. He's going to be going, spread about throughout the state, because Pennsylvania, with the Latino shakeup recently, is a huge toss-up for both campaigns. So they're both there campaigning today. So these are the states we're going to watch, specifically today and tomorrow. So let's really get into some of these comments. So recently, Trump said at a rally that he would prefer journalists to be shot over himself. He then went on to say in another rally that Kamala Harris should have been shot. Now, these are things that are coming from a president, and people don't factor that into their voting. If he's saying that these people are being shot, what do you think he's saying behind the scenes? Like, when you're publicly speaking and things come out your mouth callously, there's some thought put behind it. You are aware you're in a crowd. You know who you're talking to. What do you think he's saying about people behind the scenes? If he can tell them, I will shoot you, or you should be shot, he's certainly saying that. And who you think he's saying it about? I took those comments and said, that's just him. That's what he's probably saying about a whole host of people. A whole host of people. But what has been very, very and this is what his campaign has said about those comments. He said the sentiment had nothing to do with the media being harmed, adding that Trump actually meant that the media members were protecting him and therefore were in great danger themselves. Again, the spin, the cleanup. How many of y'all want to be journalists, want to sit right there for a president to sit? We're not talking about a random person. We're talking about the president of the United States to have these kind of feelings so outwardly about citizens. Them journalists are citizens with families. You don't know if they're Republicans or not. They're just doing their fucking job. That's the shit I'm saying we got to pay attention to. Now, we got to talk about this big fucking thing. Trump's blacks for Trump and Hispanics for Trump. This shit has been blowing my mind. It's been blowing my mind. And I've been listening to the reasons why some of them have decided that they want to vote for Trump. And then you'll also notice shit like this, where you have black men placed behind Trump at these rallies. Now look at this one. On his shirt, it says garbage for Trump. Garbage for Trump. And when you watch the video, which I'm not going to play, the man is dozing off, sleeping, literally sleeping. That's the shit I'm talking about. So let's talk about black men for Trump. It's been a thing, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm leaving the country if Kamala Harris wins. Le'Veon Bell is a boxer. So this thing about black men who wants to vote for Trump, it really is a thing, and I'm gonna let y'all hear for yourself.
Or is it gonna be Trump? And why Kamala or
Trump,
why Trump?
Trump.
Why you want to put
They gonna make the economy lit again.
Okay, so you looking for that good stimulus, something like it, something similar to it?
Nah, I get money. I don't need that government assistance.
What do you think about Kamala?
She a puppet on a string. She's tap dancing.
I'm
going for Trump.
Why y'all voting for Trump this year?
Trump is gonna do the right thing.
Can I just ask you who you voting for, who you not voting for, why you not, or why you are
voting for my man Trump?
What about Kamala?
Oh hell no, she not even a thought. Donald Trump, that's my president for sure.
Not Kamala?
Kamala, she not doing shit.
But what about Kamala being the first woman of color? Not of black color, but of color.
I feel like
she capping. Talking everything, putting it all on the table.
Talking Trump then.
I'm a Donald Trump fan. I love his leadership. He's here to fight for us, and he's going to do whatever he can to make it right. Salute to Donald Trump.
When I hear them say all this stuff, being an educated man who actually reads and pay attention to bills, I say to myself, you really think Donald Trump, when he's making a bill sitting in his office, again, I'm not here to persuade you, but I'm here to talk to you. You think he's thinking about you when he says, oh, I want big businesses to take a big tax cut? You're not in mind. You think when he's saying that he wants to stop immigration so he can get more jobs, you're not in mind. You're not in mind. And I know you probably saying, well, yes, I am. You're not. You're not. It's a hard pill to swallow, but black man, we're not in mind. When this man thinks about those bills, he's not talking about you and I. When we got them stimulus checks, first of all, they didn't come from Donald Trump. They came from Congress. Congress has to approve any checks that come out. All he did was put his name on it. That meant shit. And if $1,200 fucking dollars is the reason why you're voting for him over Kamala Harris, I don't want you. I don't stay that way. Stay that fucking way. But I'm letting you know your vote means way more than $1,200. Yeah, it does. In a lot of ways. A lot of ways. You heard them. He's going to make it lit again. Because he made it lit before. This is the same man who sat with black journalists and talked down to them. This is the same man who, when he disrespects Kamala Harris, the first thing he comes, she's stupid. No, not because he ain't got nothing else to say, but what do you think he think about anybody of color? You're stupid. You're lesser than. I'm being honest with you. The whole housing thing he did. Who do you think he wanted to get rid of? Black people. So I know people think that, oh, when he was in office, the economy lit, everybody had a job. I'm trying to figure out, well, what happened to your job? So while he was in office, you had a job for 4 years. Now you don't have a job. I don't think that got nothing to do with Donald Trump. I don't. And I would love to do a case study on these men, black men in particular, who say, I'm going to vote for Trump. He gets in office. I would love to monitor and track their progress. How well you did. How well did you do? Are you better off, black man? Because I'm here to tell you, love my people. And we will be a divided people because we all have different brains. We don't think alike. We have different perspectives as much as they want to lump us in. But we have different walks of life. But I'm here to tell you, us as a people together, that man ain't thinking about us. That man ain't thinking about us. But we'll continue. Now, and y'all know I can keep going on him not thinking about us. So you have these black men, all these black men for Donald Trump, right? And let me, I ain't gonna stop there. Let me go one further. Let's go.
Heck yeah, it's cool. Black guy. That's one of my buddies. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome.
No, I'm not a racist.
They're taking black jobs now. The whole country is going to be it'll be like Detroit. A lot of it's about the genes, isn't it? Don't you believe? They're poisoning the blood of our country. Troublemaker. These are troublemakers. Look, I love the old days, you know? Do you know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. Now, if you had one really violent day, like one rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it'll end immediately. But we're going to indemnify police officers and law enforcement from being destroyed by the radical left. You're changing history, you're changing culture.
Of course I hate these people. And let's all hate these people because maybe hate is what we need.
Listen, all of those were sound bites from Donald Trump over the years. And the reason I say over the years is because it's something I always talk about on Go is when you look at a person over the years, you see patterns of behavior. That man has not changed his thought. What you think now he in office? Oh, I love black people. No, it's always been the same. He don't even think we have regular jobs. The job I'm working right now, my career, it's not a regular career. Y'all in the chat, where y'all go and bust y'all ass every fucking day, it ain't a credible regular career. You got a black job. A black job. Where the respect at? And you saw them people this hey Alexa, cut it out. And you got these people saying he gonna make it lit again by giving you a black job. Are those the immigrants taking the black jobs? Let's talk about that. You all know, and I'm being honest, immigrants, quote unquote, whether they're, illegal immigrants or legal immigrants, you know that when most companies hire them, they're hiring them at the lowest rate. They're hiring them to do the most intense laborious jobs ever. When you see them at construction sites, they ain't the ones mapping it out. They're the ones hugging, grabbing all the work, the tools. They're doing the laborious jobs. So when you say you want to get rid of the illegal immigrants because they're taking black jobs, in my mind, you know what I'm thinking? You think? Y'all know where I'm going. Because you think that I'm supposed to be nailing a hammer to the wall. That's what you think. Again, you don't look at me as having a career. So I say black men. What the fuck are we talking about here? He gonna come get the economy lit. Well, okay, get rid of immigrants because he think those jobs belong to you. Really? I'm gonna tell you right fucking now. Not this black man. If I'm not mapping or planning or wearing a nice bad suit on a construction site to tell a bitch where to go and what to do, it ain't for me. I ain't hanging a motherfucking thing. Bitch, I ain't driving nothing. That's not me. But we do have black men that will do it, but they should be paid at the higher rate. Don't get rid of immigrants and then swap them out for black people so that they can get these uneducated, unskilled, highly intensified labor jobs so that you can feel like I got your jobs back. No, the fuck you didn't. You got them back at the same rate. Because the only thing that'll make that just for me is you got them back and we got a higher rate now. That minimum rate went up. You ain't hear him say that, did you? Did we talk about that? We didn't. But I hear y'all. Now. I just want to say this. I'm speaking because I want you to know that even though you're hyped for him to come and you're going to get what it sounds like is I'm afraid of a woman being in control than I am of a racist white man being in control, because my liberties are more at stake with the woman because they might try to impose equality. It might have to be right for all of us. Whereas Donald Trump, at least I know he's thinking about me as a man. Get rid of them transgenders. Get rid of them gays. Yeah, I like that. No abortion. Versus Kamala. That's what I feel. That's what I hear. Black man, don't be afraid of a woman. The only way you have to be afraid of a woman is if you've done something. If you are that son who off the family, you should be afraid. Very afraid. Don't be afraid. Stand right there and support her. Don't let the traumatic experience, and I said this earlier, don't let your experiences that you went through with women in your past make you make a decision that not only will hurt you, but hurt your future. Hurt what you want to do. Have you thought about your future plans? Like, what's in it for these next 4 years? Say Trump got in office. What in your plan is Trump going to do to help that? Do the work. Go look at these bills. Look at the policy. They're all out there. Because I'm about to break mine down. I'm going to tell you my reasons why I'm voting for where I'm voting. We're going to talk about it. But baby, it ain't worth it. I'm telling you. And when I hear people casually say, yeah, because of this and that. Now let's talk about. I'm glad y'all agree with me on the exactly what it means, scared of a woman. That's exactly what I feel like it is. That's exactly what I feel like it is. Hold up, fashionista, because you see the playwright. You don't see black men on no damn construction sites. Not a lot. I be walking my dog all the time downtown in these construction sites. I don't never see black men. I always be like, well, damn. And when I do see him, let's talk about the difference when I see him. You want to talk about the difference? Let's talk about difference, because I'm always watching. The difference is when I see construction sites where there's black employees, it's oftentimes a city job where they're out doing the road, paving the roads, putting the cones outside, directing the traffic, okay? Rare times I see them driving the trucks. Most of the times, I see Latinos. moving the trucks, doing the intensive labor jobs. I see that all the time. So yeah, let's get rid of immigrants. And you think that they already give you the less skilled job. What you think they about to do now? Child. See, who they're really talking to is the rural white man who feels like the immigrants have taken their jobs. They don't give a fuck about black men getting jobs back. Child, bye. They're talking to them out in the country on the farm road who got 3 cows and a donkey, who used to going down to the salt mine and doing some construction work. Now all of a sudden, Latinos or whoever have came in and said, I'll do it for $2 an hour. Fuck, what you need? All of that? We'll do that for $20, all 80 of us. That's who he's talking to. He trying to get their jobs back. He don't give a fuck about y'all. Us, me. Let's be real. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. I want to see when he get in, if he get in office, the moment he makes a bill to get you your job back, I want to see how far y'all go. I'm gonna be tracking. Today he voted for Trump. Where is he at? You better not still be in the same condition eating a hot dog being interviewed outside. I want to see you rolling in a car with a job, prefer one of them black jobs, okay? Because we know what a black job is to Donald Trump. You can't get me on that. But since we're talking about immigration, you know, one of the craziest things is that I was raised with mixed races in school and stuff like that. And I never in my mind thought like, oh, you're from another country, so you don't matter. I just felt like, oh, you talk different, but you're still American. Never, ever did. And I never thought that even Latinos who consider themselves legal citizens would be so off-putting to those who are illegal citizens just to support Trump. That to me is just as bad as racism. That I, King Roman News, would tell my people in the chat, y'all, my black people, y'all need to take y'all ass back over there or come back and do it right. You don't believe me? Just watch.
What do you think about Trump's border policy?
I love it. I love it. I'm 100% for it.
Do you know anybody that crossed the border without applying for green card?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I have family members that did. Cousins, nephews, nieces.
Because those people might be deported if Donald Trump wins.
That's okay. That's okay.
How long have they been here for?
Years, like 20, some like 30 years.
And so you think the members of your own family who've been here for 30 years should be deported?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, they can be deported, but they can also apply to come back again to the United States, but do it the right way.
How do you think they would feel about you saying that?
Oh, they would be very angry. They are angry at me right now. They don't talk to me because I support Trump.
It's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you.
Okay.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Like what are we do? What the fuck are we doing? So this is where we at? You want to send your people back? Yeah, I got family over here, been over here 20, 30 years. They over here illegal, but shit, they need to go back. At what point do you, cause see, here's my thing. Here's my next question. Okay, this will be my next question. So would you have this same feeling for your daughter? You want her to go back? Cause now I'm trying to figure out how fucking cold-hearted you are. Cause first of all, are you a legal citizen? What did you have to go through to get here? I'm sure you had to jump through a bunch of loopholes. See, oftentimes, and this is why I want to vote, and I want everybody to vote. Oftentimes, we forget the struggle, okay? We forget the struggle and struggles that it took to get to where we are today. I can't wait to show y'all this last video of the show today. I hope it hits everybody's fucking soul. Because it did to me. I said, that's why I'm fucking voting. This woman, obviously, she's an immigrant from somewhere. I don't know, maybe Puerto Rico. Yeah. Not Puerto Rico. Maybe another country. Cuba, I don't know. But she's an immigrant. I'm sure she had to go through something to get citizen status in America. If not her family. So now, I got here. I'm good, bitch. Like a lot of these dumbasses out here on the fucking beef sector streets. Fucking fools. You just fucking cowards. I'm here. I ain't got to do nothing. Shit, the government, fuck them now. Fuck y'all, I'm here. No, you turn around and you help the next person get here. You don't say, I want to send them fucking back. Oh, well, it's their fault. Oh, really now? I wish the same attitude you got, somebody had for your ass, bitch. That's how I feel, y'all. That's how I feel. I'm sorry, I can't hold it back. It's wrong. It's wrong. Without even knowing the reasons why he wants to remove certain people who have been granted legal status. Now, all of a sudden, we have these issues where they're all illegal. Let's talk about it. Busloads of illegal, you have illegal immigrants in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is one of the top cities, Philadelphia being one, where they have a large population of legal immigrants. About 600,000. And you want to say the people here, your people, 20 years, 30 years, they here. That if Donald Trump enacts a law, it don't matter what, they need to be upheaved, uprooted, and kicked out. Fuck talking about Latinos. Can you think about that as a Black American and African American, people from Barbados, Jamaica, Egypt, Cairo, all these different places. Think about them. Ghana. Been here, got stores, salons, shops, all kinds of things. Now we got a new person in office and you think it's okay to uproot their life and get them out of here. It's time for you to go. No, I don't think so. That's the shit I'm talking about. While she's sitting here talking about it, it'd be her motherfucking ass get fucking deported. People like that running. It don't stop there. It don't stop there. We got to talk about it, y'all. We got to talk about it. So you got Latinos, you got Blacks. But what about Black women for Trump? This has always been something so interesting to me. See, what I've found with Black women who are for Trump, they're for Trump, but they don't want to talk about the issues he has with women's rights or abortion. They don't want to talk about that. But they want to talk about everything else. The economy. Black men. Oh, Black women. You're mad at Kamala Harris for what she did to Black men. But you're not mad at Donald Trump? Oh, okay. Okay. And again, y'all, I'm giving how I feel. Is this one of those situations where I don't like that woman? Is it one of those? I don't know. I want y'all to watch this. You tell me what you think. Listen closely. This is a Black woman for Trump, and we're gonna talk about it. And I appreciate. Let me say this before I begin, because I don't want y'all to think I see it. I appreciate everybody in the chat saying they appreciate the live. I really do appreciate y'all listening, because this is some stuff I really just definitely wanted to talk about. Thank y'all so much. I do hope y'all hit that like button. Listen to this Black woman.
It's beyond rapport. Because of the fact that somebody is willing to put someone in seat for their color, even when they're not qualified to do a favor for you.
Now, this is a Black queen speaking, so I'm going to shut up and let her speak, because clearly she knows what she's talking about. Let's see what she said.
Let me explain to you how the last 4 years have went. Up 3, coming into this 4. Let me explain something to you. So for the first three years, Kamala has not cared about the Black community.
I would argue that she hasn't cared about the Black community ever. I will argue that she is the biggest detriment to what's going on in the Oakland, San Francisco Bay Area, more than even the governor of that area. She is not good. She's never been for the Black community.
Okay? Kamala and Biden have been doing everything in their power to support illegal immigrants. They have been coming in this country. They getting your benefits. They putting their kids, these illegal immigrants are going into your kids' schools. They in the hood.
Listen, I've been saying this and people been calling me all sorts of names and all sorts of stuff. And I've been saying the same thing. If y'all cared about America, you would not be for illegal immigration. Listen to me. Illegal immigration. She's on point with everything. I agree with everything she said. And if y'all don't agree and y'all put that woman in that place just because of what color you think she is, because let's be honest, she is Indian. She is not black.
I mean, when I first watched it, I literally was like, idiots. Because what I always do and what I always say in these situations is, so you're so vocal about why Kamala did not do anything for you or the black community. And it's so funny because when people say they've done that for the black community, we got to start doing is breaking that down. The black community is not just one pot. Stop fucking thinking that we're just the black community over there. That group. We have pockets. We're just like every other group. We have black community of senior citizens. We have a black community of LGBTs. We have a black community of black veterans. We have a black community of those who are actually in military doing service. We have a black community of professionals, a black community of accountants. So when you say the black community, talk about your community. Your community. That's what I want to know. Like, so what hasn't she done for you? What's your community? Because let's talk about it. Well, what's for you? What is that? Because in my mind, if we want to talk about what he's done for your community, it's actually reversed almost all of the benefits for you. This is what I'm saying. I'm sitting here listening like, so, okay, she's done nothing for you. That's all I'm hearing. She's done nothing for you. Okay, so define your community. Who is you? Single black? Are you a single black mom? Are you a small business owner? Because those are very different fucking perspectives. They are. So then we get to what has Trump done for you if you were a single black mom and a small business owner? What has Trump done for you, sweetheart? And then everyone goes to this immigration thing. Why does illegal immigration, why do black people, not all, some, think illegal immigration is going to be the detriment of them? Why? Because see, to me, that's counterintuitive. I'd argue the difference. I'd argue that actually puts pressure on the government and Congress to learn how to deal with and manage something that they started for years. We didn't start illegal immigration. It didn't start with them just jumping over the fences and wanting to come to the land of the motherfucking free. Bitch, y'all been bringing us over here. Y'all brought us over here illegally then. We ain't got no reparations for that. But you managed. Over time, you managed. So now we're back here. No, you figure it the fuck out. And black people, don't get in the way of your own blessings. You're talking about they're taking your jobs, they're in your communities, they're in the hood. Let's talk about that. They're in the hood. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Do you want to be in the hood? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a whole black man. Y'all know how I'm hood and I'm all of that shit. Do I want to live in the hood? No. I don't even have kids. No, I don't. I don't think nobody wants to live in the hood. I don't think nobody should live in the hood. But let's talk about why do people live in the hood? Is it cheaper? Is it easier? Is it more convenient? Is it near transportation? Do you got gas stations around? Grocery stores? Those will be some of the same reasons immigrants will be moving into those neighborhoods. We can't do that. Because the very same thing we're fighting against be the same thing they get on us. No, I don't want them to have that. Well, damn, we don't want y'all to have it either. So now you fight for help us take it away from them so then we can turn around and take it away from you. That's what's going on. You have these people out here, you have these black people so committed to this idea that, oh my God, they're taking my job. Bitch, what? And and that's me. Maybe I think too highly of myself and my community and my black people. Maybe I do. But bitch, what? Trust me, I never look at a job, a client and say, oh, let me get this for they, because they gonna take this. That's why I go back to what black jobs are you talking about, honey? Who are we talking to? So that's how I feel when it comes to women, black women for Trump. What are we talking about? And let's talk about, okay, I get it. You don't like him for this, this, and this, and this. Can you tell me why you like him for your community? What he's done, what has he done for you specifically in the 4 years he's been in office, and then after? What policies has he supported? What election officials have he supported? Senate, Congress, what has he done? Get silent. Well, I mean, but if it ain't all about that. What has she done? Certainly. She's not been on live TV and said she was gonna grab you by your pussy. Sorry to get graphic, but I'm being honest. You have a president who did say that. Certainly, she didn't tell you, I'm gonna take away your rights and I'm gonna protect you. Leave it up to me, I'm gonna protect you. She didn't do that, but he did. That's dangerous. But let's continue. Now, the black man. Let's talk about something real quick. Black man. My black man. We're gonna talk. Since we're talking about, blacks for Trump and women, black women for Trump, black men for Trump. So I've been hearing a lot of, the reason I'm for Trump is because, he's for the conservative, the traditional household, or whatever the fuck that bullshit is. Because we're gonna talk about that too. But I'm also hearing, he's for the economy. He's gonna get me a job. But you know what I'm not hearing? Crew, y'all know what I'm not hearing? Why y'all ain't talking about this? Black men. Trump courts black men as he pledges return to a policy that disproportionately targeted them. Oh, y'all didn't know that he wanted to bring stop and frisk back? Federalize it? You didn't know that? Black men? Black men. The same black men in that video standing outside eating a hot dog and nachos, all with heads sagging and shit, gooned the thugged out. You, that same black man, while you sitting there talking, you're the kind of guy they want to stop and frisk for no reason. You do know that, right? Black men. So while we're talking about why we're for him, can we at least admit that there are certainly reasons we should not be? You think he's stopping and frisking a regular white smojo? You think so? You think they stopping and frisking Latinos more than they doing black men? Come on now. Come on now. Absolutely not. But see, here's the thing. We're going to go into the election so blindly because we hate Kamala. She ain't done enough for black men. The economy ain't lit with her. She ain't giving us stimulus checks because it ain't a pandemic, by the way. But she ain't giving us stimulus checks. We ain't getting free money from the government. But you know what? With Trump, at least he'll stop and frisk me. At least me as a black man, King Roman News, can be walking down the motherfucking street, dressed in my motherfucking J's and my fitted jeans, and my jacket on, hooded the fuck out like I want to be, knowing I got a career and money in the bank, but because, we want a lit economy, we're going to subject ourselves to that. We want to go back to stop and frisk. I don't. That would be a reason why I would not be voting for Donald Trump. That would be a reason why. I can't support that. I can't support that. A key pillar of Trump's anti-crime platform demands police departments reinstate stop and frisk, which allows officers to randomly stop and search people for weapons or else risk critical federal dollars flowing into their coffers. Federalizing stop and frisk. Either your police department get with it, or they ain't gonna get no money in their coffers. Now we just did local news, and the reason I did it because I wanted to talk about those stories so it matches this. Can you imagine stop and frisk in any of them fucking stories and how that would have went? That's what I'm talking about. It's beyond you thinking a lit economy because that's just the thing to say. Or, he's for traditional households, fuck the gays and the transgenders because that's a lit thing to say. No. Talk about your own rights, y'all. Stop putting these videos out speaking about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. Gays ain't got nothing to do with you. Transgenders don't have anything to do with you. But you know what does directly affect you? Stop and frisk, along with a whole heap of other things. That's where your focus should be, black men. Wondering about those black jobs. Have he defined those? Has he defined those for you? No. Well, I mean, he gonna get more manufacturing jobs here. How? By doing what? Talk about it. Because to get something, you have to give something. This is a barter system. This ain't he can just create it. No, he gonna have to create it, and something's gonna have to be dismantled. We're always looking at that future, that bright, shiny thing, but we fail to remember something's gonna have to be dismantled for that. If he wants more manufacturing jobs, what other industry will have to be impacted by that? Where will those dollars be diverted from and diverted to? Do your research, bro. And then what communities are they going to? Are they going to the communities in your town, your city? Or are they going to the ones that supported him in an election? The battleground states. Do your research. Are you in a Democratic state talking about you voting for Trump, thinking that you finna get manufacturing jobs? Ciao, bye. I predict if Trump does get in office, everything going to Texas or Florida, for sure. So what are we talking about? Really? What are we talking about? Now, let's talk about another thing. So Trump, and along with other people in their campaigns, like I told you this weekend, they had the phone bank and they had the walk here in DC. And you sign up free. You do it because you are so empowered and moved by the campaign. Well, Trump failed. He has failed to sort of get that empowerment from his canvassers. So he has to subcontract his canvassers out. And so bad that they have to trick people into canvassing, not knowing that they're doing it for Donald Trump. This is how he gets black people to go knock on doors in black neighborhoods to get them to vote for him. This is what he did to black people. Oh, you don't believe me? Okay. Canvassers for Elon Musk's America PAC were fired and stranded in Michigan after speaking out. A dozen black canvassers were tricked, threatened, and driven in seatless U-Haul vans. They were fired after Wired reported on their plight, some without full pay or way back home. So let's talk about it. You got motherfuckers. You got this third party canvassing organization. I don't know what the fuck it's called. They put a job out everywhere in the state saying, hey, we have a door-to-door. You just knock on doors and you basically register them to vote. Sign up, you'll get X amount of dollars an hour. And if you go to another city, we'll get you a rental car. Now, they making it all bright and shiny for who? Because what we like, it's a free trip. You gonna give me a free flight. You gonna give me a rental car, and all I gotta do is knock on doors? Hell, bitch, I'm going. Hey. No, we read the fine print. I'm going where? Doing what? For who? For how much? Do I get my cut up top or on the back end? See, all these people were under auspices. They was gonna get reimbursed for their flight, they travel. We're gonna get it all back. What kind of job you accept? You got to put up that amount of money. Them days are over for me. I'll get you. If my jobs, you want me to come work in another state, you're going to pay for my relocation expenses. Absolutely. If I'm working from home, you paying for my internet, I'm getting a mobile phone. That just comes with it. So again, black jobs. Hello, somebody. They don't think highly of us. So let's continue. So they signed up for the jobs. Here to come. So now the assignment is in Michigan. Now, I love me some Detroit, but y'all know it ain't got the best of the best neighborhoods. And Donald Trump wants the black vote in Michigan. He wants y'all vote in Detroit, but see, he ain't gonna send his canvassers out from the Trump campaign. Why? Y'all don't want to vote for him. And then what's another thing? Trump don't want his canvassers out in Detroit neighborhood. What? But again, you voting for him because he for you. Because you ain't looking at this stuff, but I am. So let's talk about it. So they're out. So the people go out in the community. First, everybody that signed up were not vetted. They were just signed up. None of them had a valid driver's license. So they couldn't get them rental cars. That's number one. Number two, they had an app. The app tracks their steps. They were supposed to have 1,000 engagements with people on the door every day. They were there for 7 days, allegedly, supposed to be. The app they were supposed to stay at the door for 30 seconds, and the app will monitor their time. So they're staying at the door for 30 seconds, and then they could leave. And that will count as one knock at the door. Now, when they got there, they were told to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Ding, 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 ding. And in this non-disclosure agreement, it says you are to ask people if they're voting for Trump and get them to vote for Trump. Get their name, and then you leave. So the canvassers started looking like, I ain't signed up for this shit. What? You want me to do what? And they walking around the neighborhood like, and you know the people at the door like, bitch, if you don't get off my step, vote for Trump. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of here. Yeah, they're getting pushback. So now the organization is realizing that they're not going to meet obligations. Come to find out, Elon Musk gave this organization $9 million to conduct this operation, not only in Michigan, but it's being done all over the United States. Now, I say to you, black people, if you one of these people that done signed up for one of these canvases jobs, I hope you got paid. I hope you told them no when the NDA came. These people didn't. So they kept going, thinking they was going to get some money. Finally, the people realized, well, we can't really get 1,000 signatures a day because they can't drive across town. They're literally on foot. So what they do, they rent a U-Haul and throw all the black people in the back of a U-Haul like dogs. You don't believe me? Look, this is them in Michigan, driven around in the back of a U-Haul, going door to door. What? Can y'all, hold up, this is the real tea. Can y'all imagine King Roman News and all of my professionalism sitting in the back of somebody U-Haul talking about something, can you vote? Bitch, I'd have been, oh, hell no. Y'all know I don't even like motherfuckers calling me buddy. I'll be like, it's Roman. Yeah, we ain't gonna do the buddy shit. Can you imagine? What are we doing? What are we doing? So now they're mad. The canvassers are mad. They came out and talked about it. They didn't know about the job. After they signed the NDA, they found out that they're working for Republicans with Trump. They also were driven around in a U-Haul truck. And then they heard over people talking, saying that, oh, Elon Musk, checking in with Elon Musk. And that's how they knew that Elon Musk paid the company for them to do this shit. So now they all done backed out of it. And now that the organization doesn't want to pay them. And so they're pissed. So they went to the media to talk about this. And this is how we got the story. And I said, now who do we blame? And who do we blame? Just like these people who just signed up for this canvassing job, I feel like just how I feel about them is the same way I feel about people out here saying, black people saying they're voting for Trump. Like, who fault is that? You signed up, then you knew it was for Trump, and you still kept doing it. You thought you think he for you? He put you in the back of a U-Haul. What? Okay, at least you saw it immediately. These motherfuckers telling something they vote for Trump. Y'all gonna, it may take a while, but y'all gonna see. I didn't do it. Trump did it. Musk did it. Now, speaking of Musk, Elon Musk, and this was another comment that I saw on Twitter about this story, because I told y'all I research my stories and I look at across multiple platforms, not just the website and Twitter. I go everywhere. And this was somebody saying that they're sick of the story about black workers being exploited by Musk in Michigan. He has no shame. Imagine the workers being threatened with having to pay for their own lodging and flights back home if they do not meet their quotas. And the worst part is being transported in the back of a U-Haul with no seats and other safety measures. Well, Claudette dropped down and said, in Colorado, Musk hired a GOP organization headed by Josh Penry to do the work. The same organization had to change their name because the last time they hired people to get signatures on ballot initiatives, they got caught forging signatures. Only the best people. Now, I wanted to throw that little tidbit in your ear. So the same organization that's doing this shit in Michigan with these black people in a U-Haul truck on some slave type shit. They done got caught in Colorado forging signatures, meaning having people canvassing and signing their names away. Pay attention. Black people. They did that to black people. And I also noticed something too, y'all. I don't like this shit. I like my Twitter. I get on fucking Twitter, and you know what I see? This big ass dumbass ad. Kamala broke it. Bring back Trump. So I go in, hit the 3 dots on the corner up here to delete the ad, to remove the ad. Do you know these bitches brought it back? So then I remove the ad, and it came right back. This shit is crazy. Who owns Twitter? Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Y'all see this shit? Talking about the threat of disinformation is from Russia. Fuck that. The threat of disinformation is right here in our own yard. X.com. Allegedly. Don't come for me. Bitch, I'm just telling you the facts. This showed up on my Twitter. Why the fuck would that be my top trending thing? Y'all know damn well what? I hit that shit. I didn't even want to look at it no more. I said, fuck it. I don't even want to look at it no more till they get rid of this shit. All throughout my fucking X now, I got ads and I see Elon. I don't give a fuck about that, man. Now, speaking of Elon, we got to talk about this. And thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'm sorry for a long show, but we got to talk about the facts. I really do appreciate y'all too. I really do. We got to talk about something. So, Cardi B was speaking on behalf of Kamala. Now, y'all know I like me Nicki Minaj, but that's set aside from this shit. I felt so emotional with Cardi B in this what happened with her. I'm gonna play it because what I saw was a woman of color attempting to be as professional, and then I saw it turned into being a mockery. Now imagine your first moment to endorse a candidate because you want to. Yeah, you don't speak perfect English. And yeah, you're going to have your shit written out just like everybody else. And shit goes awry. She did the best she can fucking have done. I was very proud of her. Let me give you this right now. I was very proud of her. Y'all watch this shit.
1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, so I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys, I'm a little nervous. Guys. I've been waiting for this moment this whole life, my whole life. I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl? I need patience over here. Hold on. How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are we ready to change the next 8 years? Because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8 years. Thank you.
Now, what happened there was, as she was getting ready to begin her speech, the teleprompter went out with her speech on there. And so in that moment, she had to ad-lib. How y'all doing? Hey, y'all, what's going on? I'm really nervous. Can you imagine? I would have been like, fuck, on my shit, this got to go wrong. God damn it. She kept saying, I need patience, which if you know anything about the entertainment industry, and it's a little thing, the word patience is the word they use when they're in any uncomfortable situation. So their agents, anybody know that if their artist is saying they need patience, they're really letting the crowd know, like, you know, just have some patience with me. But the person, no, I'm calling for patience. Patience being the name, come help me, come save me. So if you hear a celebrity on stage, I need some patience. Where is patience? That's what she was doing. She was trying to say, y'all, get this shit together. So finally they bring a phone to her for her to read, and then she begins her speech. Well, of course, shitty mouth Elon Musk had something to say about that. So he comes out here, another puppet who can't even talk without being fed the words. The Kamala campaign has no authenticity or true empathy. Excuse me? Did you just say the Kamala campaign has no authenticity or true empathy? Do you want to talk about true empathy? I know you ain't say that shit. The fuck out of here. You wouldn't know what true empathy was. You don't know what it's like to struggle or go without or go with. You wouldn't know what that's like. Your money is fed in your fucking mouth. So she replies and says, I'm not a puppet, Elon. I'm a daughter of 2 immigrant parents that had to work their ass off to provide for me. I'm a product of welfare. I'm a product of Section 8. I'm a product of poverty. And I'm a product of what happens when the system is set it up against you. But you don't know nothing about that. You don't know not one thing about the American struggle. And fix my algorithm. And fix mine too. The fuck? Fix mine too. So this big moment for her turned into this big thing that she's a puppet. Just another way. But notice, he ain't come out on Beyonce. He ain't come out on nobody else but her. Specifically because she was there to endorse Kamala as a Latino. To do what? Stifle that Latino vote. Just like Ricky Martin today in Pennsylvania. J-Lo, when she was out there in Vegas. Get that Latino vote. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to attack this Latino in front of my people so they'll know, don't look at her. If you like Cardi B, but look at this. That's what they're doing. Picking and prodding. And what we'll do? Blacks for Trump. Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah, then she's a puppet. No, really, you are the puppet. You're the puppet. Facts. So before I go, I got to talk about this point. I got to talk about why it's so important for me to vote in this election and the issues I care about. And I'm going to keep it very, very succinct. The first thing, and shout out to everybody in the chat. I really appreciate y'all being here with me today. We rocked the fuck out today. We talked about a lot of different things. It was a really good show today. And I really appreciate y'all. Why I am voting. What's important to me? Why? Why me? Why I want to vote? Well, it's a couple of reasons. My first number one reason, the biggest reason I am voting in this election and I'm voting the way I'm voting. No, it ain't about no fucking economy. No, it ain't about no transgender, shit like that. No, it ain't about immigration. It's about the one thing that you won't hear these black men and these black women out here on the streets in their videos saying. You know why? Because it's always, we're afraid. We're afraid of it. It's too much. It's too complex. I don't want, it's too much. I don't need that. And that's what they want to get rid of. This is what I want. This is my first thing. This is the reason why I'm voting. Check this out.
But we were going to do this. I would like to just about end the Department of Education. It's time. The country does very well in some ways, but very badly in others. We did fantastically in everything. We did as good as you can do in education, but you have to get rid of the Department of Education, close it up. When you look at the list of countries, we're always at the bottom. We spend more money per pupil, and we're always at the bottom of a list of 40 countries. And we should close it up and let local areas and, frankly, states handle education. I don't know if that's good politically to say or bad politically to say, but that's the way it's going to be. We're going to close it up.
Excuse me? Did he just say we're going to close the Department of Education? He didn't say we was going to close the Department of Education. We're going to close the Department of Education and return it back to the states. Well, we know how that goes. We know how the varying degrees of education change from state to motherfucking state. The same kind of education and people in New York State is not going to be the same kind of education you're going to get down in Mississippi if it's ran by the fucking state. You want me to, you want my black people to get subpar education that's not regulated by a federal fucking system, so the accountability is on a federal level? Yeah, I'm voting. You got me fucked up. You want the states to tell people that they can avoid Title VI and Title VII fucking protections? Are you crazy? You want the states to be in charge of whether or not there's a civil rights fucking violation going on? That's what you want? I'm not for that. I see it. I see it. And see, like my aunt used to tell me, if the way you hide shit from black people, the way you get around black people knowing shit, put it in a book. Put it in a book. And when she used to tell me, I'm like, put it in a book. And as I got older, I realized people don't like to read. Not just black people, people in general don't like to read. They don't want to learn. As you get older, your energy, your motivation, your thrive to learning and encumbering new information, acquiring new shit, it dwindles. You're set in your ways. But we need to keep learning. We have to keep learning. Education has to remain open. And it has to be equal for all the states. Not just, oh, in Connecticut, the State Department is going to do this. And so they're going to have superb education. But over here, they can have low scores. That's our standard is low. That's fine. But we'll have a lot of private schools for the white, affluent children. But we're going to run the public state schools this way. They can read on a third grade level. Because, reading on a third grade level, they take that data and that's how they set up prisons. They look at how many kids that year graduated reading on a third grade level when they should be at another level. And they use that number to dictate how many kids are going to be piped into a prison line. If you didn't know, well, now you know. Look at it. Reading on a third grade level, pipeline of prison. I did research on that for my master's in public policy. So, yes, education is my first one. So let's talk about it. If they were to get rid of education, what would happen? Civil rights enforcement will move to the Department of Justice, educational data collection to the U.S. Census Bureau, and support for Native American students to the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Come on now. So we're gonna move the civil rights to the Justice Department for education. Under Trump, who's gonna run the Justice Department? You see that loophole? And we're gonna be right fucking back there wondering how the fuck we got here. Because we wanted to vote for economy. Yeah. So we're willing to vote for an economy, a make-believe economy that's gonna help us and get rid of this Department of Education. Nah, I don't think so. I don't even think that's a good idea. Title I funding for high poverty schools should be turned into vouchers and then phased out over time, while money from the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act should be given directly to parents. This is what they want to do. Should he become in office, they want to get rid of the Department of Education. This is why I'm voting. That means way more to me than y'all talking about immigration. Because see, this targets my community. Immigration, again, it ain't targeting my community. I'm voting for my community and my beliefs and what's targeting me. That's why I always ask people, you worried about immigration? You a legal immigrant around here? What we doing? What you say, Trump?
Nobody is going to stand for education that's not proper. We're moving education back to the states. You're going to be running your own education. So we have, in education, so important is what's more important than education, but we rank at the bottom of every list. They rank 40 major countries. We're at the bottom, but we're top of the list as the cost per pupil. We spend more per pupil, per student, than any other country anywhere in the world. So we're number one in that, and we're number 38.
Child. Jargon. And let's be realistic. Are Trump children affected by the policies, Department of Education and policies regulating state public schools? Let's be real. He wouldn't know what that meant. And it's all coming from Project 2025. Again, he went out, I don't endorse Project 2025. I don't care about Project 2025. But here we go again. A huge pillar of Project 2025 is eliminating Department of Education. So I'm voting there. Secondly, women's rights. Women's rights is everyone's rights. And if you don't understand or see that, I don't get it. And this is what I talk about. So men say, I got to vote for Trump because he's got all the, the liberals, they want everything for gays and transgenders and blah, 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 this and the third. Then You, on the other hand, you don't want Kamala because she's for protecting the rights of women, which come with reproductive rights, right? Which is having the choice to choose for your own body. Your own body. That's not right. Can't do that. Can't do that. So you feel like a man in all of his authority should say that abortions are illegal based on your religious beliefs. So if we do that, we have to do that with every fucking thing. Everything. And that's what I'm talking about. You can't say I'm for, I'm for the traditional values. I'm for the mother and the wife, and it's only one male and one female. But at the same time, you don't want those females to enjoy the liberties of being a woman, of being female. Yeah, you could be a woman within context. Yeah, we like women. We prefer this sex within context. And you know what else gets me the most is that you can obviously see that Donald Trump and a lot of the men that support his campaign are very misogynistic. And that's what I'm most afraid of when it comes to women under a Donald Trump office. I'm afraid that women's voices will go away. I'm afraid that this is a slippery slope. Once we do one thing, we take one thing away, we're going to begin taking other things away and other things away. Next thing you know, we're like Saudi Arabia and India around this bitch. Women can't drive. That's how I feel. So for me, I think the abortions should be regulated at the state level, where you have their individual congresses meeting to determine what's best for the states. Now, I'm against abortion. I'm for abortions. I'm for the protection, the reproductive rights of women. I think it's their choice. But I'm also for states being able to dictate that for their own individual people. I'm not for it being abolished by the federal government. I totally think that's an overreach. I truly do. You wouldn't want nobody saying that men, after having 5 babies and not paying child support and not having custody, they need to chop your nuts off. You wouldn't like that, would you? You wouldn't like that, controlling your reproductive system. But because it's a woman, we can. And let's go one step further. Is this because we're fearing the white race being depleted, no longer being the majority? Is that really what it is? Like, are we really at a point where we're in fear of white race, white men, white women? And this is not a racist statement, but are we in fear of that? And because of that, no more abortions? Because again, that's not affecting what you're really doing. Is you're affecting your population. Who you think getting more abortions? White women. Why? That's what y'all should be targeting. Why are they doing it? Is it rape? Is it incest? Do we have family issues going on? Do we have a fatal pregnancy that needs to be, be handled by a medical procedure? Instead, we want to just say no to everybody. So for that reason, I feel like I'm voting. That's why I'm voting, to protect women's choice for their own bodies. God forbid I was a woman and somebody told me I can't do this. You mean I got to travel to another state to do this? The fuck kind of shit is this? This is my business. This is what I'm going through. How can you put something on me that I can bear? And it's almost like, are you trying to have mothers on the system? Are you trying to repeat a system for a specific set of races, Latino, blacks? Do you want them? So that's where I stand with that. My next one is, of course, LGBT. I stand for protections for my community. This is important for me. And under Donald Trump, this is what he wants to do. The Trump administration was openly hostile toward the LGBTQ community and vehemently opposed the Equality Act, which would have ensured that existing civil rights protections cover sexual orientation and gender identity in the way that they already do for race, disability, veteran status, and more. Well, the Trump administration also blocked basic job protections for LGBTQ people, insisting that employers should be free to fire workers for their sexual orientation or gender identity. The Department of Health and Human Services under the Trump administration also eliminated non-discrimination protections for LGBTQ people established under the Affordable Care Act. That's why I'm voting for Trump. See, I am part of this community. Remember, I'm voting for my community, for me. I ain't trying to work in no motherfucking place where they are federally supported and discriminating on me based on my sexual orientation. Bitch, that's none of your fucking business. I get the job done and get it done well. But because we got Donald Trump in office, now they want to encroach on my freedom? No. And this is why I'm voting. Yep, this is why I'm voting. I couldn't believe it. And I still can't believe it. I don't think it's a big issue about gays supporting Trump, but there are gays that are supporting Trump. There are some out there, and they don't understand that. He wants to remove these employers' discrimination and put it under the auspices of transgender. An employer doesn't know the sex and then their sex changed, employer can fire them based on their orientation and their gender. No, bitch. Because not only does that affect transgenders, did you see them other letters? L, the G, the B, the T, and the Q, that's all of us. I'm not one of those who's going to sit here and say, nah, that's just them. No, bitch, that's all of us. Because if it happened with one of them, what you think? Now they're going to go back to us. Now it's going to go back. No. So, yeah, that's why I'm supporting my community. I want to have a good career. I want to have a good job. I love helping people. I love going in organizations and helping them transform and be the best they can be. I help all walks of life, from health to education to Indians. Recently got an Indian Reserve organization on board, all across the board. And Lord forbid I take a client that needs the work, they need the support, they need the help, and they say, well, are you gay? And I say, yeah, why? What does that matter? Well, we can't work with you. Now I can't go to EEO and get a lawsuit going based on discrimination. I can't do none of that because Donald Trump is for that. No, that ain't right for me. That's why I'm voting. And let's talk about my, of course this is important to me. Of course this is important to me. Let's talk about it.
So Kamala Harris was just asked point blank what her thoughts on weed are. Let's listen to what she said.
I just feel strongly people should not be going to jail for smoking weed. And we know historically what that has meant and who has gone to jail. Mm-hmm. Second, I just think we have come to a point where we have to understand that we need to legalize it and stop criminalizing this behavior. And so, and I've actually, this is not a new position for me. I have felt for a long time we need to legalize it. So that's where I am on that.
I love it.
Well, okay.
She said weed, not cannabis. Pay attention, y'all.
Yeah, that's old school, right?
Yeah, that's old school.
I like it. I like it. Doesn't get much more clear than that. Kamala Harris was the first major party presidential nominee in history to have ever called for weed legalization. And if we want to see weed legalized at the federal level, we have to make sure Kamala Harris wins and Democrats get control of Congress. It'll take a joint effort from all of us. Excuse me, I had to. So please make a plan to...
And of course, another situation or issue that directly impacts me, the legalization of marijuana. And not only me, but those who have been incarcerated by it. And also all of these dispensaries that are opening up, a lot of them are giving proceeds back to help incarcerated people who suffer incarceration, whether it's through employment or through funding. And I'd like to see more of that. And she has that in place as something that she wants to do, a part of her bill. Now, I do see in the chat where Joy Queen said, yet she sends Black males to prison over large quantities of it. And yes, that did occur. And it wasn't just Black men. It was other races as well. It was a policy. So it did happen. Again, it did happen. But she's not turned a blind side to that. And what I do think, and I find admirable, is that between her, Obama, the Biden, and their administration, they worked very, very hard to make sure that the people that have been incarcerated by this, their terms have been lifted, their sentences have been expunged. So I do see a lot of that, but you're right. We cannot deny seeing that. And if that little bit of thing is the reason what makes people feel like she's not for black men or she threw them in jail before, then for me, I'd say then what do you think Donald Trump would do? He's already said, we need to have one violent day where all the troublemakers, we just round them up. Who you think he's talking about? I think that's way more violent than what people have alleged that Kamala Harris has done. And so my very last thing I want to talk about is this whole family value shit. This is why I'm voting. I don't know why people keep saying, I'm voting for Donald Trump because he's for conservative family values. Now, if you're here in the chat and you're listening, I want you to listen to this so you'll have some ammo when people come at you about Donald Trump is for conservative family values. Here you go. He keeps on talking about, for the mom and the father and the children, and it's one male, it's one female, and he believes in the values and blah, 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 and this and the third. Here's the problem. That's no longer America's identity. America's identity is no longer fully married households. It's just not it. It wasn't like that when Donald Trump was in office, and it wasn't like that before. The decline of marriages are going down and divorces are going up, and single households have been remaining constant and growing. That's not the demographic. It sounds good though. It sounds good, don't it? We need to have marriage and babies and family. It sounds good, but it's not our reality anymore. You have more women who want to be independent. They want to manage their money. They want to manage their careers. So when I hear people say, well, we need traditional. So are you saying that a woman's place should not be in charge of her career, should not be doing all of these things, and should be focused solely on raising her child? And the man should be doing, is that what we're saying? We're no longer there. It's not sustainable. And you know why? Because the divorce rates go up when that happens. A lot of domestic violence, a lot of issues. It's expensive. How many true crime stories have y'all watched? The husband was rich. They lived in a big mansion. She was a wife at home taking care of the kids. He out cheating. She catches him and files for divorce and wants custody. And what does he do? Offs her. Because he don't want to split the shit. That's our reality. That is our reality. There you go. That's the reality of it. We're not dealing with a whole bunch of people who want to be married. That's just not the truth. What are we talking about? So when I hear the likes of old folks and the likes of him talk about, yeah, I'm voting for and black men because, traditional values. You're not even in the traditional value. You're a grown ass man that's single. You're not married. And I beg to differ. Your daughter ain't married. I bet you she got a baby daddy. It's just not our demographics anymore. So when I hear this stuff, I'm like, yeah, you just talking because you're not speaking about your own community. You're speaking in theory. It sounds good. Oh, it sounds wonderful. These religious explorers, I call them, because they think that, you have to walk the word. You don't just talk about it and think, oh, yeah, we need fuzzy green grass. You actually have to be on the ground doing the work. Are you in the community helping these families and couples become couples? I don't think so. You can't talk about that. Moving forward. So they want to talk about how Harris doesn't, she's a mother. She doesn't have any children. Well, she has 2 stepchildren from her husband, who's white. So Kamala Harris is married to a white husband. Okay. And his 2 children are now her stepchildren. That's the American demographic. How many people got kids married to another husband, their second husband or another spouse, and they're raising their kids? That's America. You want to know rural America? That's what they doing. One mother household, a dad from another family, a mom from another family. That's what's going on. You're not speaking to the married, and it's not the case. Look around, y'all. Y'all be on YouTube. You know these people personally. What do they tell you? Are you married? Is it a two? Are you living a traditional household life? No one is. Define traditional. That is no longer sustainable in America. So here's the facts. Divorce, remarriage, and cohabitation have increased in the U.S. as two-parent households have declined based on Pew. Can I say it again? I said divorce, remarriage, and cohabitation have increased in the U.S. as two-parent households have declined. They've increased. They went up. So you want us, we want to get it back. So we're going to stop the transgenders and stop them. What the fuck does that have to do with them getting divorces, remarriages, and cohabitation? What the fuck does a transgender got to do with a cohabitation of a heterosexual male and a female? Let's talk about it. Y'all want to say it's about modern family? Well, what the fuck that's going to help? How that's going to help y'all in y'all divorces? Let's be real. You think a transgender going to help if they step inside your marriage? They're going if they put protection in place and get rid of transgenders, your marriage is going to come back together? You think so? Oh, you think it's going to help y'all cohabitate? Oh, it's going to stop the divorce? What are we talking about? That is not. Let's not get it twisted. Being gay, LGBTQ has nothing to do with whether traditional values and the traditional family is here or not. We don't have nothing to do with that. You think me being gay is stopping my next door fucking neighbor from raising her daughter with her husband? The fuck I got to do with that for? Give a fuck about this bitch. But you want to encroach on me because you think encroaching on me is going to solve that problem, but it's not. I'm here to tell you, we're not the cause of the divorces in America. I'm not the cause of y'all cohabitating. Bitch, are you kidding me? But it's been steadily increasing for some 20 years now. Before Trump was president, this has been a trend. But everybody, I'm for traditional value family and Trump's going to save the day. Right. What is he going to do? Make more men more powerful than they already are so that they can take over women's rights. So now women can't do nothing but sit at home all day, pregnant. What are we talking about? Y'all really want to go back to this shit? Hell no, I ain't voting for you. You can get traditional, you can get modern traditional family values from voting for Kamala Harris. That's what you can get. You can get the protections and liberty and freedom to have your family how the fuck you want to. That's what you can get. You know how many kids don't have mamas and daddies? Would love to have a fucking parent. But we don't want that. You can't be gay and you can't adopt. You know, Trump don't want that. You can't be, That's why I'm voting. This traditional value shit, y'all got it all fucked up. And here's the last piece of that traditional value. Andrew Cherlin from JHU said that some Republicans are making statements about children in a negative, punitive, blaming way that makes not having children a personal fault. That kind of rhetoric really is not going to appeal to most Americans. Oh, you don't have a child? Kamala doesn't have a child. Women without children. You're not a mother. You're a motherless cat. That's not traditional. Women need to have kids. Really? That's not your fucking choice. So women need to have kids. What about men? What about the single men out here who don't have children? What about them? Do they need to have kids? How about there was like 5 fucking presidents who didn't have any children? What, are they catless fathers? This is why I'm voting. Because it doesn't make sense. And it sounds like a dictatorship. And it sounds like you want us to do what you want and you want women to do what you want. And you got this picture of something that's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's been no study done. And I looked for any country that is liberal, that any country that is developed. Okay, let me say it like that. That is developed, where they limit the protections of women and they lean on traditional values and their society is thriving. There's no country developed. And most countries that are underdeveloped, you hear the riots all the time. Women are coming out. Women are speaking up. They want to vote. They want to do this. And it makes for a thriving economy. when we all can chip in and we all can use our brain powers, not just men. Oh, because we're afraid that, everybody's taking over and the white man and the white, races is slowly becoming a minority and all the jobs are going to everybody else. So we need to get the traditional families back together, and we need women can't get abortions. You got to keep the babies and we got to raise the family. And like we don't deal with custody battles all the fucking time. What are we talking about here? So for all of these reasons, education, Trump wanting to eliminate the Department of Education, I think that's a huge mistake for the reasons I listed. Women's rights. I'm voting for Kamala because I want to protect women's rights. LGBT. Oh yeah, I gotta protect my rights because I'll be damned if a bitch want to discriminate on me because now we open the door for transgender discrimination. That now it's okay for me. It's never okay for me. Black, while I'm male, and while I'm gay. None of those things. They all should be protected. My sex, my race, and my orientation. My sexual, all of that should be protected. And then, weed, of course, a leisure activity, but I absolutely think that it should be protected. Given how disproportionately Black men have been affected by that, I think it should be protected. Leave it up to Trump. We got stop and frisk. Oh, you got weed on you? Well, I ain't Kamala. And then lastly, family values, because I don't like the fact that saying I didn't come from a traditional family household. So what does that mean about me? And I feel like I came out damn good. And I wouldn't want the next young child coming up behind me having to be forced in situations, two-parent households, because there's a society begging for that and dealing with shit that they shouldn't have to deal with in these traditional roles and traditional households where men feel like I'm going to protect a woman and it's going to be me. I'm not for any of that. So for all those reasons, I'm voting tomorrow. I implore you to vote. I vote for whoever you want to vote for. It's your personal business. It's your right. But I do want you to vote. Okay. And always remember to vote for your community. If you don't have any other reason, vote for your community, the people around you and the things that are going to be affected that's in your community. I hate when I see, Black men and Black women saying they're voting for somebody for a certain reason, and that reason has nothing to do with them. It's almost like, damn, it's pure ignorance. So can you tell me why you're voting for your community? Yeah, he's going to help me get a job. Okay, what kind of job? Manufacturing. Okay, so where at? In the power plant. You worked in the manufacturing job in the power plant before? Yeah. What happened? That's the kind of conversations we need to have. And lastly, I want y'all to watch this video. If nothing else, this is why we got to go vote. Because oftentimes we forget the struggles that have put us here. And I think this was put well perfectly. Shout out to this lady. Y'all make sure y'all go vote.
Black people in Mississippi had to pay $2 to vote. The white folks didn't pay nothing.
In what year? And what year was that?
That was 1960.
1960. And what are you about to do today?
I'm about to vote free. I got victory in my feet.
Yes, Lord. I know that. Let me see what victory in the feet looks like. That's the victory in the feet.
You hear that? That's why we go and vote. You know how many of our ancestors, y'all, our people, ancestors wanted to vote in our lineage, and while we sit here, I ain't voting. Wanted to vote. I'm going to vote. Had to pay $2 to go and fucking vote. Now we got the right to do it for free, and we stumbling. Let's not stumble the ball on this one, y'all. Let's make sure we vote. Get as many people as you got out to vote. Tomorrow I'm gonna be doing in the morning. I'm gonna be going to vote, and y'all also know I'm helping to patrol the senior citizens across the street to vote. So won't necessarily be doing an early morning live, or I don't know, depending on how early I wake up. And then tomorrow I'm gonna do an election watch party. Y'all come watch the elections with me, 8 p.m. And I'm gonna drop the link. I didn't get any content creators who wanted to sign up and join the panel, which is fine. It's probably not their thing. So if any of you all want to hit the link, and I think I did get a subscriber who wants to hit the link and kick it with me while we watch the countdown of the elections. I'll be here with y'all, get y'all some wine and all that good stuff. I want to shout y'all out. Thank y'all so much. We did 3 hours. Oh my God. But we got through that shit. Thank y'all so much. Victory in our feet, Coyotes. It's in our feet. Thank y'all so much for being here. Anybody that I missed, thank y'all for being here. I'm so sorry. Lady Sparkle, thank you for being here. DJL2, thank you for being here. LaKendra, hey boo, thank you for being here today. BJ, thank you for being here. I appreciate it, y'all. Y'all know when I get to going, I get to missing shit. And I think I saw Lamone too. Thank you for being here, Lamone. I appreciate it. Grandma Love, I see you. Hey, Jills, Creole. Hey, y'all. Tweety, what's up with you? Thank y'all for being here this morning. I really do appreciate it. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm about to get out here and get on the streets. Oh, this was a good show. Thank you. Thank you. That shit means a lot to me. Excellent commentary. Thank you, y'all. That shit means a lot to me because I was very like, oh my God, shit. Thank you, Sims. Thank y'all for being, yes. Okay. I'm going to set the live up too, of course. And please share the live out too and support the channel. All right, y'all. I'm about to get out of here. Start my day. My dog, you know, he want to go outdoors. Y'all go vote. I will see y'all tomorrow. Until next time. Deuces. Oh shit. Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News. Let's go. Let's start this show.